Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. What y'all know about this?
Oh, baby.
From the moment I saw you, I went out of my mind. I've never been baby in love at first sight. Well, you got a magic voice that I just can't explain. Well, you got a way that you're making me feel like I do anything for you, baby. That was Whitney Houston's I'm Your Baby Tonight. I'm not your baby tonight. I'm grown. I'm an adult tonight. And I was an adult last night when I went to go vote at the Wheeler Avenue Community Center. Had to go over there. Newsflash, I lost my wallet.
Why is he losing stuff?
I know. I lose my wallet.
Thanks.
And then I'm like, and I should know this stuff, right? I'm like, okay, I'll just vote provisionally. But what do I have from this list? Because I'm a millennial and I don't check my mail. And not only do I check my mail, I ask them not. I request paperless, right? And then now here I am on Wheeler begging to vote, and I got to vote. Hopefully you voted. If you didn't, what a doozy that would feel like. Because there was some very, very close races last night. I was playing that song today because one of our guests who you're going to meet in a little bit, maybe 30 minutes or so, usually, see, y'all don't know this, but before we start every week, I ask what's folks' favorite theme song. And the reason why I do that, it's not only because it becomes like a palate cleanser, it also loosens people up. Because they're sitting there and they're like wondering when it's going to start and blah, blah, blah. And here I am singing I'm Your Baby Tonight by Whitney Houston.
Well.
Yeah. Very well. You know, I've been saying for the longest that I want to be in the choir at Wheeler Avenue.
Yes.
One of these days, their minister of music is going to be watching the show and it's going to say, there's our tenor. There's our tenor on the praise team. Our other guest that we were just talking about is calling and I can't answer. Angel, kind of busy right now, right? But I mean, what a week this has been. A lot of folks were up till 3 a.m, including the person to my left, who you're going to meet a little later, who calls me at 3:17 a.m. And of course, I answer the phone because I'm a friend. Thank you for being a friend.
He just forgot to shut off this.
So I answer the phone. I'm thinking someone is being, because that's always my worry. You know how you watch the movies and it's like the person is running from the thing, or they got the flat tire and the monster's coming and they're like, right? I want to be that person that's like, I'm sitting in an Uber right now. Or I at least want to be able to tell the authorities, to tell the family, hey, it didn't go so well. This is what I heard. This is what happened. This is where he said he was. You know, they get a little bit of closure. A lot of people got closure last night.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Listen,
Amen.
listen. If you're sensitive, this is not the show for you tonight. If your choice didn't win and it's still a wound, this is not your night. This is not your night. People are just really blowing me up.
It's right when you start.
Right. So we're going to go ahead and start this off. Let's see. Are people, I never know if I'm actually live.
You are live.
I refresh. Okay. So I go in and I look. There's some people that are watching. Put it in the comments if you are joining us today. My Aunt Eljanita Scott Davis is in. My Aunt Nita. Aunt Nita's watching. I wouldn't have been as silly if I knew that she was. See, I would have been a little nervous. I would have been a little nervous if I knew that she would have been sitting up straighter and I would have done something else. But to my right, your left, this is someone who I've known for roughly since the beginning of the Change of the Guard with CD18. I first saw her on stage at something girls preparatory, young women's preparatory, and I was like, oh, who's that? I had seen her at the CE meeting here and there, moving and shaking, just doing stuff, right? And I was like, oh, okay, that's her. And she held her own. And while she didn't win that race, I think, right, you'll be hearing a lot more from her in the near future. I think she's going to be part of this next crew. Oh, she said she was an hour ahead. Typically really good. Let's see. I'm going to call Angel, y'all, because she sent me this long text.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat if you're a long texter. I'm a horrible texter.
I text before I overcall.
Hey, you're on live, FYI.
I'm on live?
Yeah, they can hear you.
No cursing.
No.
Hey, Angel.
Hey, Angel.
Hey, did you get my text?
No, but I didn't read it because I'm doing this thing. I'm doing my little mini monologue.
Oh my goodness, I feel so bad. Okay, so when I sent my text earlier, I was an hour ahead. I needed to be out by 7:45 or 8. I was like, please don't hate me and please charge it to my brain and not my heart.
Oh, that's
Things
cool.
have literally been popping up today.
That's cool. We'll make it work. Where you at? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. My friends are like, cancel the rest of your night. It's your birthday.
Yeah, do that. It's your birthday.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Also, happy
Don't do this
birthday.
again.
Happy birthday to ya.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay. All right. Bye.
All right. I heard y'all are gonna have Stevie, so y'all have.
Stevie is here. Stevie
I
is
love me
here.
some Stevie.
Listen.
Stevie said.
Listen, Stevie said absolutely. So
Y'all better listen to her.
all right, Angel.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye. To my right, your left, she's probably going to be in the state ledge, on city council. She's going to be somewhere because, let's see, what is that? Oh, okay. And I had another guest. No prob. I was going to have Letitia to call in too, but we're going to have another special guest that we're going to call like that. To my right, your left, the one and only Carisha, please. Carisha
Hey,
Rogers,
people.
welcome to the Black House. Welcome to the Black House.
It is an honor. It's my first time on,
You know, in the main chair. So welcome.
A pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
What are your initial thoughts? Give me one word that describes last night to you.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Okay. We're gonna do that. To my left, y'all's right. Y'all don't really get to see, but we have two amazing guests. Let me tell you, we're in for a doozy tonight. Okay, we're here for 2 hours. I brought my coffee.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, cold brew. The one and only. You know what? We have two. Do you speak Spanish too? We have two Spanish speakers here tonight. Yo habla español.
Yo no habla español. Yo habla dinero.
Yo habla español. The one and only Antonio Maldonado.
Hey.
Hello. Thank you for having me again on your show.
Absolutely. You're one of you looking back at it. That was one of the, because I always watch. I go back and I listen. Yours is one of my favorite episodes because you're just wild.
Why, thank you.
Yes. And someone else who, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. I mean, she does her thing on the Toctic. She has a Substack. I'm actually a paid member for your Substack. Do you know that?
Thank you. Yes,
I'm a
you are.
paid member. She is doing an amazing job. There's a group of people. Yo, we don't deserve her. We don't deserve July. We don't deserve Angel. We don't deserve, I call her black girls who brunch.
Mhm.
What's her name?
Erica.
Erica. We don't deserve Erica. And there's like several others that like really are doing an amazing job, like stepping in the gap, because this is the way that people digest information these days. The one and only, now, I didn't know, is it Stevie Said or Stevie Said?
Stevie said.
Stevie Said, everybody. Welcome to the Black House.
Thank you for having me the day after the election.
Listen. So where did Stevie Said come from? I got to know.
Oh, this is a good one. So back on my Twitter days, my name was Stevie Said, I Don't Know Why I Love You.
Oh.
Because Stevie Wonder's song, I Don't Know Why I Love You. That's my favorite Stevie Wonder song.
Oh.
So Stevie said, I don't know why I love you. Then I ended up shortening it because everyone's calling me Stevie anyways. So if I hear people say Stevie, I know they know me from Twitter or from social media. My real name is actually not Stevie.
All right.
Look, y'all. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to the Black House.
Thank you for
Welcome
having me.
to the
Love to be
Black
here.
House. Yes. So, Quincy, I sent you an email like 10 minutes ago with a lot of attachments. Is it realistic to have one of them up soon? Up there on the screen. Okay, so he's going to give us a second. While he's going to give us a second, we're going to go back to the chat and we're going to see what people are saying in here. Apparently, people actually watch this thing. Love you too, Aunt Nita. We have Dawn Jones
Well,
from
Dawn.
Texas Courier.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, she's another one.
I love Dawn.
Dawn says, your name is not Stevie. She did the same thing. And then she did like the mind boiling thing. Yes.
It's a secret for now.
Okay.
Lots
Yes.
of people know my real name.
Listen, if I could do it all over again, y'all would not know my name is Darrell Douglas. Okay, you would not know my real name. It's too late now. It's too late now.
But
Right?
is it with one L or two L's?
That's it. Okay, now do y'all want the story
'Cause you
behind
keep
that?
changing
As
it.
he
Yes.
gets it up, y'all want the story behind? Okay,
Okay.
please.
so first of all, up until the 9th grade, my name was Darrell Hicks. So no one from middle school back can find me on Facebook. Every now and then they'll be like, "Where did the Douglas come from?" Okay. The second thing is my name is Darrell. That's what my mom says it. But Siri, Alexa, and the English dictionary calls it Dural. Because phonetically, it's supposed to have two L's. My brother's name is Devontae, but it's spelled Devonta. Right?
Mhm,
Right?
mhm,
So
mhm.
for myself, my Christmas gift last year, I was laying awake and I'm like, you know what? My mom told me not to add the L. She was like, I spelled it the way I want it. And I'm like, you know what? What did we start off tonight? I'm your baby tonight. I'm not, I'm grown, right? I'm grown. I'm adding the L. So I go on ChatGPT. I know, hey, I'm woke with most things, okay? So don't y'all environmentalists get in my inbox, okay? A gallon of water right. So I look it up and it's like you can unofficially change your name. Not legally, it costs, right?
Right.
And we're conserving because this economy these days is really bad.
Mhm.
But unofficially, you have a lot of Roberts that are Bobs, a lot of Williams that are Bills. So it's like add the L. So I sympathize or empathize with women who get married and decide to change their name because once you open Pandora's box, it's like a 1L here, 2L there.
Yeah.
And you got to remember all the places to do it. And so Quincy, if you can put up the very first one. Yeah, Charlene Jones says last night was amazing. And we start
We love you, Miss
Oh,
Charlene.
here we go.
we start with the belle of the ball, the one that shattered everything. We have long-serving Congressman Al Green, who was ridden out of his district, right? And who was then placed to face sitting congressman who's just finishing up a term for the 18th Congressional District. This historic district has been represented by members of Congress like Sylvester Turner, Sheila Jackson Lee, Barbara Jordan, Mickey Leland, Craig Washington. And so it is a huge thing that happened last night. Initial thoughts?
I have nothing but the utmost respect for Congressman Al Green. This was the change that we needed at this time, and I also know there are a lot of concerns, especially over some things that happened post Green losing the seat because what Trump posted a tweet that was insane, and on top of AIPAC posting something, and mind you, Menifee denied funding from AIPAC, and so it's just interesting that they decided to put their little hand in there. They're trying to bully Menifee. I'm just going to cut the bullshit. They're trying to bully Menifee. Not going to stand for it.
Yeah, and I like the way that he handled it. He and his team didn't respond to either one. I think that's the way that you do that because there's no way to win. He has bigger fish to fry.
Right.
Yeah.
Antonio, Stevie.
I was heartbroken
Oh,
that Al Green
No.
lost. But the show must go on. So I went to Christian Menifee's, ate up all his food.
what did he have?
Ooh, he had a nice little buffet, y'all. Ooh, Mr. Menifee know how to feed folks at poor behavior. Except for that pizza. I didn't like that
Oh,
pizza.
poor behavior right there on like
Yeah,
Elgin.
that's where
right
that's where
there
Watch
in
Party
Elgin.
was.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
He had some good old
They
Brussels
they
sprouts.
never I see that place, but I never see the parking for it.
There's
There
no,
is
it's
no-
valet.
There is no parking.
There is
That's what I'm saying.
valet.
Like, where do you
I knew
even
I
get-
wasn't.
It's valet.
I knew I
valet.
wasn't going because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't
Valet.
feel like being bothered.
What were your thoughts from that race?
It ended up exactly how it should have. When
Mhm.
I door knocked people this election season, our senior citizens were saying it's time for Al Green to go.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Al Green. We will always love Al Green.
Mhm.
And I hated that I had to vote against him,
Yeah.
but it was the right thing to do.
Correct.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed. Yeah, this was one of those races where, and there are several others that are like this,
I
where
know.
there are folks that I really respect that ended up on the other side of this, right? So people like Jalonda Jones, people like Ron Reynolds,
Mhm.
people like Coretta Brown, Tara Taylor.
Tara
That's another
Taylor.
one that we don't
Who did Tara
deserve.
support?
Candace.
Tara was
Al
the
Green.
Candace.
Yeah.
Candace
So
Weber.
hard.
Yes.
Candace was too.
Yeah, Candace was they were supporting, and I know that it's genuine, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh,
initially,
and Candace Matthews too. When she
Candace Matthews, yeah,
She-
Candace
she
Matthews
ended
did.
in
She ended up
change, yeah.
In the
supporting Al
end, yeah,
Green
she ended up
in the
pulling.
end, Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I look at it like this is one of those races where I was like, oh, the other side of this thing, there's no malintent. Like I don't think any of them were voting for him with anything like malicious in mind. So I think like they had their reasons for voting for him. I had my reasons for voting for Christian. And yeah, I had a little fun. I had a little fun. Here's the thing. I believe that people should be able to have a little fun with it, right? So I did my own rendition of, I'm so in love with you by Al Green and did my little, facetious post. But as y'all said, yes, like nothing but respect for him because he's to be respected.
Yeah, and mind you, I was like one of his first supporters back when I jumped in the race against him, and I was
Really?
like, yeah.
Okay, the first like with the thing with the precinct chairs or for the actual
yeah. So because he wasn't in that precinct chair one.
Yeah.
But when Menifee ran after post Turner passing away,
Yeah.
and I ran against him, and then we realized because me and Rain both ended up supporting Menifee, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm putting my support behind people who I believe can do the change,
Yeah.
and I was going to stick with that all the way to the end.
Yeah, and you did. This was a very interesting race. It actually affected other races. I nerded out today looking at precincts. Okay. I wanted to look back at March.
Mhm.
And then I said, okay, based on that, let's look at this. And you see that there was some linear there. Christian Menifee, you have a lot of some big shoes to fill.
Mhm.
You can rest today. Yes, you can rest today, but tomorrow, DC Houston. Put the next one up, please, if you can. This.
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
You supported Lawrence in this one
I
too?
sure the hell did, and I'll do it again.
Wait a minute. So you supported Al Green?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have a good night
Look,
last night.
I sure didn't.
You didn't have a
Look,
good
if you
night
know
last
Antonio
night.
Maldonado, then you know one thing about me is that I am loyal to the grave.
Yeah, to a fault.
To the grave.
To a fault. So in this one, we had House District 131, where State Representative Alma Allen, who I actually worked for, that was my first job at the in the
So
legislature.
who did you support?
2011. I didn't support her son. I supported
You
Stacey.
didn't support
I
her son.
actually was gonna host a fundraiser for Stacey.
Mama Allen need to beat your
But-
ass.
But
And she might.
the reason why I
She just
didn't
might.
was because then the Jasmine Crockett campaign got back with us. Because I didn't, when you don't hear and then you think like, oh, they, maybe the dates don't work. So when they got back, I called her back and I'm like, Stacey, everybody who I'm going to call for Jasmine is going to be who I would have called for you. And a lot of people are not going to do both. And we really need all eggs in that basket. So instead, Constellation Prize, we hosted her watch night party.
Oh, okay.
We hosted her watch night party on the night of the primary. But super excited to see her. And what are your thoughts?
Yes.
I mean, if anything, this is kind of definitive that we didn't want nepotism in this race. It was definitely also respectful criticism of Lawrence is that outside of his mom being the former representative, who are you? And I think that question was answered to a lot of people until they went with Stacey, who who has a record, who's showing what she's doing, and she's been putting in the groundwork. And that's also why the Houston Progressive Caucus also endorsed her along with Christian.
Thoughts over here?
I am actually friends with Stacey. I actually worked her campaign when she first got elected to State Board of Education. I called her and I told her, I said, Stacey, I understand that you're running for state representative and that you're seeking the same office as the son of Alma Allen. I'm gonna let you know, as a friend, I'm gonna stay out of it.
Mm.
You know, I don't want to support you, and I don't want to support him because I don't want to piss off Alma Allen, because she's a very good friend of mine, and I hold her dearly. She has always been an ear when I needed it, and she somehow politely said okay in a nice Stacy way. And
No, go ahead.
and that was the end of that conversation. But then Mama Allen called, and Mama Allen said, you know, my son is running. I said, what's he running for? And she said, my seat. I said, okay. I said, yes, Miss Allen, I got you, baby.
Like,
So
awkward.
you know, I had to go ahead and support Lawrence, because that is Mama Allen's son, and I am very loyal to her and always will be.
Mhm.
And she was a great state representative. But on to victory. Now we have another great female, Stacey Childs. She did a wonderful job as you know, serving
State Board
on
of
the State
Education.
Board of Education.
Yep.
So I know that she will help us end getting rid of help us get rid of Mike. What, how do you say his
Mike
name?
Mike
Miles.
Miles.
Mike Miles.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, you know, if Gina wins, you know, governor, we can end here in Houston and in Beaumont, Texas, because you know they took over Beaumont a couple weeks
Oh
ago.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm a huge Stacey Childs supporter. Huge. So I was not surprised at her win. I did little canvassing myself, talking to people at super neighborhoods groups, just chatting with people. Hey, who are you supporting? And all the elders, and when I say elders, I mean the high propensity voters,
Mm-hmm.
like, we're voting for Stacey Childs, not Alma Allen's son. That is what they said. And Mr. Allen actually came up and talked to me about one of my videos that he did not care for. He did not appreciate from me. And I'm glad that he did that. And he let me know, you know, I'm more than my mother's son, and I had to reach a certain level to be her son. And I understood that. But this is what the people told me. This isn't me, Stevie, making a video. This is what the people in these streets, these voters, are saying. Your marketing, your campaign signs, have your mother. You start out your speeches and spend about 70% of your time. When I heard him speak, about 70% of his time, 50% talking about his mother. So this is the presentation that you have presented to us. Therefore, I'm going to let people know that's what it is. This is not an asset. This seat is not an asset to pass off to your child.
Right.
We did that with State Board of Education.
Mhm.
We have no business doing this with this House seat when we have a highly qualified candidate in Stacey
Yes.
Childs, not only a former teacher, but also an attorney. And I cannot wait to campaign for her with whatever she decides to do next.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I think she becomes, you know, when you talk about public education in the Democratic caucus in the House, it's Alma Allen that everybody pointed to because she was a teacher, she was a principal, ... She was actually Rodney Ellis's third grade teacher. Did y'all know that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact, and they have the same birthday. When I first heard that, I was like, wait a minute, wait, what? But if you add it up, it's about right, because I thought they were about the same age. But I too would agree. I think the way that we win hearts and minds and the way that we shift the tide in Texas has to be with people like Stacey Childs, who can speak not only from academia, not only from, you know, the halls of the courts, but also has that human touch that's authentic. She was a teacher as well. She was a White House intern in the Obama administration. And I just think it's like, wow, like how lucky they are and we are to have her in the state house. And I'm looking forward to, you know, her, because here's the thing. Did you used to watch the HSD school board meetings when like Jolanda was on there?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me
I
tell you
went to a
something.
few as well.
I used
That
to
was the
set
main
my
reason I
alarm.
watched.
I used to set my clock. It was Wanda, Rhonda, and Jolanda. You had Jolanda
Yes.
Jones, Rhonda Skillern Jones, and
Mhm.
Wanda Adams. And it was like,
Who they gonna
It
cuss
was
out
a-
next?
wow. It was so, because you know I love me some Jolanda.
Oh, yeah.
I love me some Jolanda because Jolanda has a way to wield attention.
You think?
And she has a way to like chew you up and spit you out. Where you're like, did she just throw shade? But she also threw some legalese in there. And I don't even know how to respond. That's what she does to people. And having her in the house, and then we're gonna have Stacey.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Now we
You
just need to
know
flip
it
the
is.
legislator as a whole. It can even be better.
And I think that's the way that you do it. I think you show that you can govern, and then you have people like Stacey that will be able to change the tide. People will see them in action and say, "That's we need to vote for more people like that." Put the next one up, please.
Who?
Letitia Plummer, Letitia Plummer, Letitia Plummer.
Plumber Summer.
It's a
Right,
plumber
baby.
summer.
It is a
Ooh.
plumber
Put it on
summer.
the t-shirt.
I'm
It's a
so
plumber
excited.
summer.
I don't have. I'm still trying to process how
Put-
real this
tell
is.
me where. Tell me. I want to know from each of y'all. Where were you when you saw those numbers, and what were your initial thoughts?
So when it first came up, the first vote was also I was actually at Daryl's party. And I was like, okay, Daryl's got it out of the water. And then I looked at the county judge and I'm like, wait a minute. This is extremely close. Hold on. And she's leading. And I'm just like, wait, I can't. Like me and Audrey, my co-chair of Progressive Caucus, we were just freaking out in that room because we were just like, oh my God, she's winning right now. But we were all both like, we've been in this game before. We're very cautious right now. So it took us a really long while to have it true. Hell, it's still taking a while to settle in right now.
Yeah.
I want to ask somebody to refresh the results again right now. Just
Exactly.
Yeah, because it was like we had to wait. So at 7 p.m. we get early vote in the mail-in ballots, right? But it was like 2 hours and something before we got our first update, right? And it was like still right there with her in the lead. So I'm like, okay, this trend is trending her way. Like she's still holding. If it had been the other way, if it had been okay, Anise is in the lead, but it's close, then I would have been like, well, early vote, I would have assumed would have gone to Letitia Plummer. But no, she was in the lead from the beginning. It was cool because we had both of them for a community dinner. We had both of them for community dinner, and they both sat in that chair right there. And then I wanted to, so in addition to this, I'm going to do like a different kind of podcast where it's like a one shot. It's just me giving my musings. And then I want to start doing this vlog thing. So I was like, cool. I'm going to do a lot of cool stuff. We're going to go to City Hall. We're going to go to the Ledge. We're going to like really bring y'all into the thing. Right. So I asked both of them and they were both like, yes. But the problem was it takes a lot of like coordinating because like I had to do a lot of traveling, and Letitia's running for office, and the videographer Precious Guide, shout out to Precious, who we couldn't find a date that worked in time. And so we paid to get this stuff done. I'm putting out my clips, right? So a lot of people took it to mean that I was endorsing Anise, and I was not. There would have been clips from both, but we just couldn't get the other one. We couldn't get the other one in, but if you really think about it in this race, and I was looking at the precincts, there was a surge in the precincts where CD18 exists. So the people that went out for Al or Christian,
like the Christian.
they voted for Christian. They voted for Letitia, and if you actually separate them into two buckets and you look at the difference between same precincts last time and this time, it's a 2,500 vote difference, and that's what pushed her over. What do y'all think? And where were y'all when you found out?
Well, I was at home, snug in my bed, keeping Rudy awake because he couldn't sleep because I kept refreshing the phone and the light kept going on.
Mhm.
And he said, go in the living room. So I went to go lay on the floor in the living room. And I was like, she won.
I mean,
You know, I was
at
freaking-
7 p.m. you knew she won, or
Oh,
at,
no, I'm talking about
at 3
it.
something,
At
3:17.
2:30, 2:45 at night. I was still refreshing, but I was at her watch party. And at 10:30, she gave a nice little speech.
Mhm.
And then she's like, it's not over yet, but it's looking pretty good. We'll know at 3 a.m. And so at 3 a.m., it just dawned on me. Let me call Darrell K. Douglas. So at 3:17, I called Darrell K. Douglas, and he said, be with an inch of sleep. What you want? And I said, she won. He said, okay, we talk about it on the show tomorrow.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes. 3:17 a.m. he calls, and I'm like, what is this? Stevie.
Well, I am delighted at this win. It was well deserved. Everyone counted her out, and she worked hard. Her campaign worked hard. I worked hard. I was sitting doors all by myself. So it is just, it was a beautiful win. 2,542 votes was the number.
What was the number again?
2,542.
The difference?
Yeah.
Not bad
And
with
also
somebody
a
with no
200,
money at all.
200 vote difference from the
That's right.
beginning.
Yeah. So it was trending her way. And I think this is really, when you zoom out and look at specifically when it comes to like not only this new generation of power, but specifically when it comes to like Black opportunity, you're probably, because Trump is just, I mean, every other week is something new, right?
Jesus.
I brought the violin
You
for
brought
for the Anise Parker supporters.
Oh, don't do that.
Well, I'm gonna play you a little tune.
I will say this.
Celebrate good times.
I'll say this, right? So
I got the
initially, when the results was pouring in that it looked like Letitia was going to win, Anise was trying to blame low turnout for Letitia's win, and I'm like, you got to stop that.
Oh,
First,
you
off,
mean her first press conference? where she
yeah,
was
because
it's
I was
very
like, hold on, you've been a politician long enough to know that majority of runoffs that we've had are always low turnout. Your
Mhm.
job, your team is to get those people back out, and unfortunately, it seemed like Letitia did the better
Yeah.
job, and that's with all due respect. That's why I was like, when she did that, I was like, don't be bitter about this. Like, don't do that, because I felt bitter.
I'm gonna tell you why Anise lost. Long story short, true story. She did not cater to the Black vote. Period. She did not intend. She didn't think the Black people were gonna go and vote for Letitia Plummer at all. Because contrary to popular belief, a lot of people don't like Letitia Plummer. I don't know why, and I'm sorry to say this on live air.
You think people don't like her?
A lot of people don't like
I
her.
think
There's
But
a
I
faction.
personally
Yeah.
know her as a friend,
Yeah.
as a political person.
She's very cool.
She has a wonderful persona, but some people just don't like her, and I don't know why. But I will say those people are not people of color.
Well,
Those
at least on my
People
end, I
of
can-
color like her, and when I say people of color, I mean Hispanic people. I mean
Okay.
Indian people.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
right. You're right.
you
You're
South
right.
Asians, even Asian people. You know, like her. You know, I mean, everybody love her.
I count the days until we get a cease and desist from somebody. It's gonna come. Like I just know. But I will say, I think she, before the apartment ordinance, which was huge down at
Mhm.
City Hall,
Mhm.
and her tussle with the mayor. Before that, if you remember, she was the lone city council member that was pushing for amendments in the budget.
Mhm.
What year was that?
Oh,
Was this? I think it was.
this is way before she decided to
Because I
run.
think she had some button heads with Turner too, right?
So yeah, she
oh,
did.
she always.
So here's the
did.
thing, and I used to catch hell for this too, because I was of the idea that we needed to push further and harder when it came to police accountability and police brutality.
Yeah.
As
This
someone
is
who
true.
worked in the prison, I could look at an ordinance and be like, right? I would look at stuff in the ledge when I worked in the ledge and see where the loopholes were, right? So it you know, when Turner was mayor and pushed the idea of doing the, what was it, a 45-day, they were going to do like a 45-day working group that was going to come back with recommendations. The way I looked at it was, because when you've worked in this stuff, you could see the play.
Right.
So I'm like, 45 days. Okay, so you're going to wait until George Floyd has blew over after the funeral, right? They're going to release their report, right? And then it'll be like, oh, we're going to do this stuff without teeth, and then the rest, and we hold hands and sing Kumbaya. So I actually caught hell for pushing back. So when I think each council member got like, they got to submit 2 people, and I was going to be one of Letitia Plummer's 2 people. Right.
Mhm.
So all the people that are like, you didn't support it, you don't even know.
Okay.
You don't even know.
I heard you
Actually-
supported Anise Parker.
Actually, right?
That's what I heard.
So Anise, so Letitia calls and she's like, hey, actually her chief of staff called, Jordan.
Okay,
Jordan Thomas
yeah.
calls and he's like, hey, you know, the council member wants to submit your name. And I'm like, hell no. Because I don't even believe in the working group,
Right.
right? So then she calls me.
Hmm.
And she's like, I want you to do it. And I'm like, but you listen, you know, there's gonna be some trouble, right? And she's like, that's why I want you to go. And I was like, say less.
Mhm.
Say less. So she puts my name down, and then I didn't get put in the thing because Turner was like, "What? Cut me out."
No.
Yes. So then, and she called me again. And she was like, "Hey, I put your name up, and it got shut down." But a little bit of history that you didn't know. So that's what actually happened. But I think we're really in for, I don't know, this is just really exciting because Tallarico may have the Beto effect. Even without the Beto effect, Trump is effing up
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
every other day, right? So I don't
Mhm.
think that Republicans will vote for Democrats, but I do think that Republicans will be turned off and stay home. Please do.
God
Especially the
God
traditional
willing.
Republicans are going to
Please
stay home.
stay home.
Yeah.
Listen, if you were a Cornyn supporter, this is your chance to protest.
That's right.
This is if you were a sane Republican, sit this one out, right? In solidarity, right?
Yeah.
You know
Mr.
what I mean?
Douglas, is this a nonpartisan show?
No, it's not. It's
Oh, so this
actually
is
not.
is
I
this
pays for this.
okay?
Yeah.
So
I hear it. This
you
is
do
shut up.
know, you
Listen,
do know
I'm
that
very-
Letitia still has to kick Orlando Sanchez's
And I
butt
wanna
in
ask you about
November.
that.
Hey, we're on that. We're
so-
on that.
Listen,
Here's
I
my
actually
opinion
wanted to,
on that.
because I was having a conversation about this earlier today, and I was talking about the fact that I believe, now this is my personal belief,
Okay.
that in November, there's one angle that people haven't thought about. And that is the fact that Orlando Sanchez has a Latino surname.
Correct.
And so there will be some people in the Latino community that would otherwise vote for a Democrat that will vote for him.
Exactly.
And if you look back at 2022
Mhm.
and 2018, these are razor thin elections,
Mhm.
right? And I would argue that the fact that Alex Maldonado, no offense, ended up in this runoff because of that. Thoughts?
Restate that statement one more time.
Like Alex
Simpler for me.
Maldonado, well, let's skip all that and say that some Latinos
Mhm.
people will vote for Orlando Sanchez that would otherwise vote for a Democrat.
Yes, I
Yeah.
truly believe. I hate to say this, especially on live, but it's going to be a black versus brown in November. I mean, I'm
You
just
think
going to
so?
say it. I can tell that right now. And it's going to suck because I would say a lot of Democrats that are Hispanic or Latino will most likely, because in the general election, it's not a primary. So you don't have to vote. And we don't even have straight ticket voting anymore.
Mhm.
So they're gonna say, "Oh, Sanchez, okay," and then he has name recognition. So if he
Recognized
losing.
for what?
For
What is he
losing.
recognized
Okay.
for?
I say nonpartisan. Now shut up and let me listen. I don't care that it's your show. You asked me as a guest. I'm giving you my opinion.
Nonpartisan. You lost to Chris Hollins. I don't see.
And shut up.
Anyway, so I'm not an Orlando Sanchez supporter this go around.
Good.
Okay.
That's good to hear.
Now, when he runs for nonpartisan stuff, I support him
Like what?
because he's a Latino,
Like what?
and I am Latino, and I don't want to be called a sellout.
So let me ask you this. So now that he has run as a
Well, damn.
Republican, if he were to run for mayor after losing this, because I believe that he will,
Mhm.
would you then vote for him? Would that impact your
Against John Whitmire? Hell no.
what about in an
I'm
open-
loyal to Whitmire.
What about in an open seat?
That's
Now, in an open seat,
seat.
no, because that wouldn't happen
Who y'all have me
realistically.
sitting
Because
next to?
he was. I'm gonna tell you why Latinos support Orlando, whatever he runs for, regardless of the fact that he's a damn Republican. He is known as one of the first Latinos to hold a seat on city council for at large.
Mhm.
First, it was Gracie Sines, the first Latina, and second, it was him.
Mhm.
That was what he ran for. That's what he won. That's why he's well respected. Number two, Orlando Sanchez was the county treasurer. Okay, but I'm gonna say this: I love Orlando. You know I do. I've worked his campaign before when he ran for.
Oh, now
something
we
else.
okay. Now it makes
Okay.
sense. Okay.
Okay, I have. I told you when I'm
So
loyal,
check.
I'm loyal. Okay.
So if he wrote you a check, you support him?
Hell no. I'm
Okay.
when I'm loyal, I'm loyal. I'm Letitia Plummer all the way 150,000.
Okay, good.
All right.
Yes. Plumber Summer hashtag.
Turn around. Look at you. for a
Thank you,
second.
Stevie. But I'm gonna tell you this: the people don't forget. He messed up it twice when he interfered with HISD. Do y'all remember that?
Mhm.
Do y'all
Mhm.
remember what he
I don't
did?
remember
He went to the HISD meeting, running his little mouth, talking mad smack, and they threw stuff at him. And then it turned out it wasn't even people like us in the community. This was random people that did that didn't like him. You know,
I don't remember him doing anything with HISD. I don't
yeah, he
remember.
went to an HISD public meeting
What was it?
and started talking smack, and they threw water balloons or something.
Oh, I do remember that. Okay,
You
I
know,
remember the one.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
like,
number
wow,
one.
yeah,
Number
but
two
yeah.
mess up was he had an assistant treasurer
Mhm.
when he was Harris County treasurer. I'll tell you one thing. He signed my checks when I was a judge. Before
you
the
were
new
a
system.
judge.
I've always been a judge, sir.
What courtroom do you work in?
I'm a precinct judge, you
Okay.
dumb.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
what I was waiting. Yeah, I was waiting. I was messing.
Don't
with him.
let
I knew
me
what he meant.
cuss you out on
I knew
live
what he
air.
meant. I knew what he meant.
And he always signed my checks. And let me tell you, I always got my checks on time. And if I didn't, I'd
He
call
had
him.
nothing to do with it. But okay,
He signed my checks. He was a county treasurer.
okay,
And if I didn't get my check on time, I called and said, "Where the hell my check at, man?"
okay.
But
Stevie,
yeah.
I have so many questions about what's going on here. I didn't forget we were talking about. So you're loyal to people that you've known, and you're loyal to if there's a Latino name, you're going to vote for the Latino, even if they may not be the best candidate. So I've heard.
Not if it's Letitia Plummer in Orlando. I'm voting for and supporting Letitia 150%. I can't be loyal to Orlando at this point because he's a Republican.
Right.
I can't do that. But if he runs in a nonpartisan seat for something else, yeah, I can be loyal.
So does he
to him.
not become a Republican if he's running in a
It's not.
nonpartisan
It's
seat?
nonpartisan.
He's Republican.
That's
Don't
not
don't
what I-
play,
that's
don't play with me.
nonpartisan.
That
He's a
wasn't my
Republican.
question. My
See, that's the
question
problem with
is-
you, so-called progressives.
Okay,
But
tell
They
me,
have
that
messed
wasn't
up
my
our
question.
party. Y'all have
Oh,
messed
what?
up the
How?
Democratic
How?
Party.
How?
Because
How?
You
y'all
answered
are
the question.
too
I
far
didn't
left.
ask.
We're too
You
far
talking
left.
to a politician? Of
You
course, I ain't gonna
realize
answer the
the
damn
whole
question.
party is
Stevie.
effectively
Okay, I just want to
centered.
make sure that we have clarified that you did not answer the question. That's all.
You talking
Look,
to a politician? You think I'm?
I'm trying to
I
understand.
don't go for traps like that. Ask Darrell K. Douglas. He's tried many times.
No, but I mean,
It
but
wasn't
now
a tra-
you
it wasn't
brought
a
your
trap.
beat
It was a
up.
That is a
question.
trap.
I think
right?
this becomes a case study because when I looked at Alex Maldonado,
Yeah,
making
what
it
is
to
your
the- no.
obsession with my cousin?
let me tell you why. Because when you looked
He's
at
obsessed with Jose Alex
when you looked
Maldonado.
at it was the perfect case study because here you
I
had
love it.
a spread, right, of candidates. Desiree Broadnax was in the runoff last time. She actually
Did she
worked.
won? Did
She
she
was
win?
in the no. She
Yeah.
was in the runoff last time,
Right.
but she lost, right? And you had these other. You had Pernell Davis, who had support from Adrian Garcia, right? And then you had so it was like the perfect sort of thing. So to see Alex Maldonado make it to the runoff,
Can we get his picture up there?
No, we don't have his picture.
We don't-
But it what it showed was,
But we got
oh,
Daryl Jordan, don't we?
Well, here's the thing, and I actually told you. So we actually did this the last time that he was here. Here's what I
Mhm.
told him. I said if we were to flip it, and let's just say that if there was a Latino judge that was then running for clerk, and there was a black person who I'd never heard of, who had never worked in the clerk's office, had never done anything in politics before, right? That was running against this steady hand that has shown themselves to be, right? I would vote for the Latino judge with the experience
Not
Absolutely.
me.
because, and let me tell you why. And the example that I gave was because this is an executive function role. It's different when you're a city council member and you're
Right.
one of 17, and but this is you're actually running a department that is the equivalent to some cities,
This is an
some
administrative
an
office. yeah.
administrative office, and so you can't really play with that. So in that case, I would vote against the person who looked like me.
Well, speaking of Alex Maldonado, but by the way, we're not related. I just like to do that. And neither is Julia Maldonado. I'm not related to her. I'm not related to Al Maldonado of LULAC or Cesar Maldonado of Houston Community College. I'm just Antonio Maldonado. Anyway, like I was saying, my boy did pretty good. He got 30% of the vote almost. He got like 29%.
And the question is from where? Like
From the Hispanic vote. This is why
that's
he
my
did. I'm gonna
point.
tell you why he didn't win, and this is tough. Again, it goes back to the race thing.
Okay.
He did not cater to the black vote. He was not in Third Ward. He
I
was not in
disagree.
Sunnyside.
I
No, he
disagree.
was not.
No.
His daddy was okay. I saw during
You saw his
polling.
daddy.
I
didn't
actually
see
I
him.
saw him at the polls during early voting. He was at somebody from his camp was at Hiram Clark.
But were
every
they
day.
knocking on doors in Third Ward?
Now
in
that
South
I don't know
Park,
about.
in Fifth
Now
Ward,
that part I don't know
in the
about.
black
Mhm.
neighborhoods. No.
Well, yes, yeah. That fit even because I didn't
He
know his
should have
field.
been
I was-
present
I was
in
on
the black
Daryl- I was helping a little bit
neighborhoods.
with Daryl.
Had he, if you have a black opponent, okay, Your last name is Maldonado.
This is
You are
insane to me.
guaranteed. That's
That's
But I
automatic.
think it proves the point that I was making, that sans anything else, sans like erase everything, shake the etch a sketch, Maldonado, boop, vote for him. Like that was some folks.
The
But,
Latinos
but
are
also my
are-
question
Mhm.
is because like during the runoff, a flood of support just suddenly started to come from Maldonado, and
Yes.
I'm wondering why didn't you guys support this man in the
Earlier.
earlier
Because-
primary?
Yeah.
I'ma
It
tell you
feels
why.
very planned in a
Calculated.
sense, calculated,
calculated,
to
yeah.
vote for do that to him now, and I think that gave people pause because like if you guys were supporting him from jump, it would make more sense. But like you guys waited until the very like the last few weeks for runoff to like, start early vote. Oh, we're all now supporting Alex Maldonado. And
They
it's
didn't think he would
perplexing.
make it because he's an unknown. Okay, the only thing that he had going for him was his last name.
Okay.
Was his that
But-
is it?
And so the scary part is, and y'all listen, because I called Al Green running for 18
Mhm.
before he did. I called it when way back, right? I said, this is what's about to happen. Mark my words, it's a scary reality, but I could see a world where he gets just the bump because of his name. And you have Latinos who would otherwise vote for a Democrat to jump the line because Orlando Sanchez.
That
is
I
up.
believe in November that's what Letitia needs to watch out for. If she's smart, which she is, she will have somebody like, I don't know, Maldonado Consulting, to be her PR person in the Hispanic
but
Latino
look-
community and get them to vote for her over Orlando.
But here's another thing. So in 2024, we held this big watch party for the night that Kamala Harris got the nomination. We had 150 people there. It was a ton. And I was doing work with MoveOn.org at the time. So they were flying me everywhere. And I happened to be in Atlanta for Spell House, right?
Mhm.
Because, you know, we had teamed up with Ben and Jerry's and they created an ice cream for Kamala Harris, right? And so, I mean, it was a great thing. It was a tour. It was awesome. But I'll never forget being in Atlanta, Georgia. This is when I knew that it was not going to look good. There, you know, we're talking to people. We're doing the whole thing. You know, CNN is there, blah, 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 blah. And I realized there are two separate instances where Black men came up to me, pulled me to the side, and was like, I don't know.
Mm.
Right? One man actually quoted Bible verses. And, you know, the first time it happened, because what we were doing, we're trying to get people to commit to vote and blah, blah, blah. And so he was, you know, talking to a woman and the woman couldn't convince him. And then I got him to do it. And she was like, well, you know, what did you say to him? And what did he say? And I told her, and it felt so hard to tell her what he just said. You know what I mean? It was like,
Mhm.
whoa, you know. And then the second time it happened, I was like, wow. The guy with the Bible, I was like, whoa. And then here's another thing that I will say: going to the barbershop. Okay, I would hear one thing on MSNBC and CNN, and then on Saturday morning, you would hear the real, and I would realize, oh, and these are not people that are voicing their opinions. Why?
Mm.
Because they know the results of that. So they either didn't vote or voted the other way. And I think that is something, as a Black woman, that Letitia Plummer is going en masse, that all of us are going to have to really, because this is a chance that we have that we cannot drop. We can't drop the ball.
Well,
Can't
she
drop
will
the ball
definitely
now.
make history because she'll be the first Black female. That's number one. And then I'm not quite sure of the rest of her ethnicity. But I know she'll be the first in those categories as well.
Yeah.
You know. And she'll make what I call herstory.
Yeah. Her
You know,
story. There we go.
Herstory. Her story.
Hello. So y'all don't know this, but on the line is the gentleman who won the Democratic nomination for Fort Bend County Judge, the one and only Dexter McCoy. Welcome to the Black House.
Oh my God, Dexter! Hey.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So tell us,
Thank you.
when did you know that you won, and what did it feel like?
Knew pretty early on in the evening as results started to come in, and we saw we had a commanding lead over my opponent as soon as they posted early voting, and it was pretty clear then that we had won this, and it feels really good. It's affirming that people recognize the work that we've been doing over the last 3.5 years since I've been county commissioner, and that folks are ready for a new generation of leadership right here in Texas.
Y'all listen to
Yeah.
this. Y'all listen to this. Does that not sound like a county judge?
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. So, what can folks do? What is most helpful right now, and what's it looking like on the ground?
So right now, the most helpful thing that people can do is help to donate to our campaign. It takes a lot of money to run this campaign. I'm running against a millionaire who the GOP installed as the interim county judge in Fort Bend County. He put $750,000 of his own money into the primary, and he committed to putting at least another $1 million of his own money into the general. And so we have a lot of money to raise. So folks can go to dextermccoy.com/donate if they would like to help us. And it's looking really good on the ground. People are really fed up with the antics of putting politicians before the people. They don't like how it's becoming less affordable to live in our community, how we have less trust in our government, and Republicans are to blame for it. And we're going to prosecute that case this fall, and I think the voters are going to respond in kind.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Any questions for Commissioner McCoy?
Will you be working with the future County Judge Letitia Plummer?
Absolutely. So we just held a press conference earlier today, Congressman Menifee, myself, and Dr. Plummer, and we committed to working together to make sure that we turn out Democrats to deliver Harris County and Fort Bend County for Democrats and hopefully be able to flip the state. But also I'm committed to making sure that we work as regional partners. Fort Bend is a big player, and as it comes to being prepared and responding to disasters, those are regional efforts, and so we certainly will be working with Dr. Plummer in her role as county judge of Harris County.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Well, thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for taking my call. And
Thank you, Darrell.
Godspeed.
Hey, man, I know I just have to say this. You and I got acquainted in the trenches
Yes.
when we were doing work of registering voters
Yes.
in our Harris County jail. What you have been doing to make sure that people have access not only to the ballot box, but to good information to make informed decisions is important. So I'm honored that you called me today, and I'm so happy to be part of your show.
Absolutely. And I'm going to figure out a way to come down there to Fort Bend and help in some meaningful way.
Let's make it happen. Thank
All
you.
right.
Congratulations.
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 All right. Bye. Yeah, I'm so proud. Let me tell you, I don't know if y'all remember in Fort Bend when there was all of this, when they redistricted, when they redrew. I mean, it was just the perfect storm. So how poetic is it for him to say, you know what? Okay, let's take the whole county. Let's run for judge. And when he
Yep.
went down there to file his paperwork, it was like people swarmed, and it's like we have to keep that up. Let's put up the next one, Quincy. I don't know. It's just such a. I don't know about y'all, but I kind of.
There
we
go my
just talked
primo.
about this one. We just talked about
Well,
this one.
I did have one question, and this is kind of related, but also because you said something I can't let slide. You said progressives are ruining the party. I want you to explain that.
Me personally, this is my opinion and not the opinion of any employers or future employers. Full disclosure. I personally think that the far leftists, the Bernie Sanders people, the AOC people are ruining the Democratic Party. I said what I
How?
said. You can
Okay,
quote
you
me
can
on it, put
say
it
it,
on
but
Facebook,
how?
whatever you want. I don't care.
How are
I
we
said what I
ruining it?
said. How are you ruining it?
Yes.
How are you ruining it? Let's see. You turned your back on the mayor of the city of Houston. That's one. You turned your backs
I'm
on
gonna
him.
let you finish.
Y'all turned your backs on the mayor of the city of Houston. Y'all want him to stand up to the governor so we can lose our funds, our funding. That is political blackmail, but guess what? That's what it is. It is what it is. If the mayor had went and said, F you, we're not gonna put up with this. This is what we passed, and this is how it's gonna be, and all that stuff that y'all want. That's the problem with y'all progressives.
if that's what y'all want to call yourself. That's not being progressive. That's just being pure stubborn. That's just wrong.
I let you
Y'all have
explain this, right?
ruined
No.
the far leftist people have ruined the Democratic Party.
I will
They have
heavily-
ruined it.
As the
Them
co-chair
AOCs have
of the
ruined it.
Houston Progressive Caucus in these Houston, Texas, in this Harris County, I gotta say you are dead fucking wrong because the mayor turned his back on us, and that was way before he even stepped into the race to become
How?
mayor.
By attending one damn fundraiser?
Bro,
A
you
party?
you know damn
A
well.
party?
You know
A
damn
party
well
that y'all are
that
taking
is
out of
not
proportion?
the only thing that reminds are critical of.
Carissa,
Because
please.
mind
If you know
mind
politics, it's I scratch yours, you scratch mine.
and that's problematic.
Why do-
That's not
why do we
okay.
keep-
What
that
is
is
why do we keep
doing?
allowing that to happen now?
The key word in mayor is a non-partisan position.
It's never
that's bull crap.
operated.
You
It's
know that's not
non-partisan.
Okay,
I
you
didn't
can
make the
say it's
system.
not-
I didn't write
you
the
can
rules.
say
It is a
nonpartisan,
This-
but
see-
it is
see,
not
Darrell, this is what you wanted.
nonpartisan.
So I must add. So here's the, and we've seen this since 2016. I would argue. So 2016, I'm living in Seattle. I was a volunteer for the Bernie Sanders campaign. So hear me out. During the day, I worked for
God,
SEIU.
Save me from these
I
far
worked for
leftists.
SEIU local political
Save
director.
me.
Okay. And then in the evenings, I would get off, put my shades on, right? And go and volunteer for Bernie. And while SEIU would eventually endorse Hillary, right? Like I was still a Bernie supporter. It had nothing to do with a lot of other stuff, but I was just, it was the optimism. It was we actually have a chance to do something. And
Did you
what
say
was-
optimism or communism?
Oh,
Oh, don't you start
wow.
Mr. Bernie
shit up in this
Sanders.
goddamn
Oh my
place.
God.
Are you
Okay,
fucking
let me
communist?
let me finish. So here you have this well-oiled machine, and it was all volunteer. It was reminiscent of 2008 because I was a volunteer with the Obama campaign. And you know what people told me? I was working at the prison, and then I would get off, and on my off days, I would work at the Obama thing right over here, not too far from here, back when it was on Dowling, not Emancipation. And black people who I looked up to, a couple of them would pull me to the side and be like, you know, I know you're excited and this and that, but it's just not going to happen. And, you know, Hillary Clinton is in it. It is hers to lose, this and that. And I stood against that, right? And I was just like, my thought was this. I'd rather volunteer and go down with the ship than to just give up now, right? So fast forward, 2016, I'll never forget. We're on a call. This is before Zoom. This is before the pandemic. We're on a WebEx call. And I'm barely paying attention. You know, this is like a national call. I'm like doodling in my notebook. And I heard them say something about everyone on the call is going to get their lodging and flight information before the end of the call. And I was like, wait. I was barely paying attention. Did they just say everybody on the call? I was sent to Broward County. What normally happens is they would have members that would sign up to go and volunteer for a presidential campaign. And then they would, whatever you would normally make, they would pay you that, and then you volunteer your time. Well, they couldn't, so that's send staff. And we get there, and I've been deployed before. If you're staff and you're deployed, you are leading, right? And the members are actually doing the conversation. We were canvassing. And those of us that had been in the trenches were looking at each other like, are you fucking serious? Oh, this is not looking good, right? And I would argue that 2016 was a tipping point in politics. The right was given Jeb Bush, and they said, hell no, we'll roll the dice with this one. The left was given Hillary Clinton, and they said, we'll make it work. We'll figure it out with the super electeds, and what was it called? Super delegates.
Yeah,
and
super
we'll
delegates, yeah.
move things around. Well, that's AstroTurf. And you cannot grow flowers or any vegetation in anything that is not organic.
Right.
So then when it comes time for you to actually do the thing, you're not lifted up by anything. And I would argue, and then I'm gonna get off my horse. I would argue that we cannot expect for Black and brown people or people from places like 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Miami, et cetera, to stand up and to vote if we're being forced to just do this thing because it's not authentic. Very last thing that I will say, we see what happens when there is a surge. A surge only happens when people are actually inspired to vote. And I would argue that is the reason why we saw the numbers that we did on our side and the reason why they saw what they, I mean, listen, I dry heave at the thought of Cornyn or Paxton, but when you look at it, that is why their numbers were up. It's proven. So I would argue, why would you piss people off and then expect them to vote in November? It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. And I guess here's what I'll say. Because like the key reason that progressivism is starting to rise the way that it is right now is that because current establishment Democrats, hey, I'm just going to say it as it is, have been catering too much to the right. The right does not care about us. They hate us, especially if we're non-white. We don't matter to them. And we have spent 30 plus years trying to cater to them when at the end of the day that they hate us. And while they've been doing that, they have upended our democracy. We cannot stand for that anymore. Everybody trying to play the line, everybody trying to sit in the middle. It's over. That game's done. We lost. They have taken our democracy.
Yeah.
And that's why progressivism exists as it is now, is because we don't want no more of that. There's no more time for you to play political games, to do all this little stuff. You either about that life or you get the hell out the way. It is no more of this nonsense anymore. And that's why Whitmire is under the bullshit he's in. It is through his own fault. Whitmire literally before becoming mayor, for sitting at District 15, because I worked for Molly Cook when she first ran against him. And you walk on the ground and you hear people in her district talking about, hey, Whitmire does nothing in District 15. And he's also voting in favor of bail of jail systems.
Yeah.
Who does that harm? You and me.
Right.
Now, I ain't a criminal, so that don't harm me.
No, that's not
Well,
my point.
and let me say this: as someone who's worked in the prison, what you learn is, I've worked in the prison, and what you learn is there's no such thing. Like there were no slaves, there were enslaved people. You have people who committed a crime at one point.
But what y'all don't know about,
hear me out. And it is our responsibility as a society to treat them in a humane way, right? And it is our responsibility not to judge because someone stole something or someone did this or that, right? And so I would argue, when we really look at this bigger picture, y'all, we did the fundraiser for Jasmine Crockett. I was Jasmine Crockett, ride or die, okay? And it has been very difficult. I'll be honest. If I'm being honest, it has been very difficult to take the deep breath and to accept rolling into November and like figuring out some kind of way to do something. But to scroll on Instagram and to see Tallarico say, Cornyn voters, you have a place in this campaign, when in my opinion, he has not meaningfully reached out to the Black community.
100%.
So
okay,
it's like,
now that I agree with.
100%.
So
we can agree on
they
that.
have a place, but I've yet to see that clarion call or that recruitment for us in a meaningful way. And I know a lot of people will say to all the things that you, because I got screenshots. I mean, people were on Instagram and TikTok acting a goddamn fool, right?
Yeah, that was stupid.
And you know what they would say? Well, that's not him, and that's not his campaign. Well, wait a minute, because you're complicit. So unless you say, "Hey, this is a problem," then that is what we're up against. And last thing on Whitmire, I found it was almost like satire. The list of people that signed up to support him,
and I was one of the preachers, and I am proud that I did.
Shame.
And so can I ask you this? And we have one other. You're Latino, right? I want to assume. Because you never know.
My name is Carlos.
His name is Carlos, so you're gonna meet him in a minute.
Just because his first name is Carlos don't mean he's Latino.
You could be.
He could be white.
Let me tell you, I would go to Puerto Rico every year, and people come up to me speaking Spanish.
Look like he just came back from there with that shirt on.
Listen, I got a bunch of these. When you're my size and you find a shirt that fits well, you get it in every pattern. So y'all get used to it at home. But I gotta ask you, Antonio, honestly, like, what was it like walk me through the gymnastics of arriving at, put my name on that list. Like, honestly, and I'm not tripping.
I called Whitmire when the list first came out, and I said, "Why is my name not on there?" And he said, "So you supporting me?" I said, "Of course. I haven't I always."
Jail.
Prison.
Shut up.
The kind of prison Whitmire likes at that.
Actually, no.
Jail.
If you know the history of John Whitmire, then you know he served on the criminal justice
Justice
thing.
Committee.
And
he did a
then
lot of
every
horrible.
person, whenever they had a
Yeah.
problem, anytime a inmate was beaten or raped or harassed or whatever by what was your position? Jailer? Is that what it's called? Yeah, whatever Darrell was, you know, white in county we call them the white uniform. Anyway, whatever they were like that, the first person they did is they would make a collect call to John Whitmire, or they would write a letter to Whitmire stating I was raped or I was abused, and Whitmire would send his people
let
in
me tell
there
you- let me
to
tell you-
help those
let me tell you,
inmates.
as
But see,
someone-
y'all
let me tell you-
far leftists.
No.
Oh, Whitmire's a Republican. Oh, he's a
tell you-
Republican.
let me
No,
tell
he's
you-
not.
is
The
a
Progressives
man
are
has
far leftist,
proven.
by
Let me tell you, as someone,
The man has proven that he's a
who
Democrat.
was not a jailer, but a correctional officer, a sergeant, and a lieutenant with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 5 years, and as someone who was a staffer for the vice chair of corrections. In the
All right,
Texas
we get it. Come
legislature.
on, move on with it.
No, because I got to give context. I gotta give context to kind of. I will say that when it comes to whether I was working for the system, literally, or whether I was observing legislation, he was a Trojan horse, in my opinion. In my opinion, he did a lot of horrible things, right? When it comes to criminal justice, just
Name one.
I don't know where to
No
start.
AC in jails.
So there you go.
No,
No AC in jails.
So
Giving them a
you're
bunch of
saying
money.
that John Whitmire approved of that?
Oh, he fought
He
it.
signed
He
off
fought
on it
He fought it.
to have no AC in the
He
jails.
fought it. Yeah.
Okay, that man is cruel.
Yeah.
Okay, you shut me down,
And so-
Carissa.
And so,
No, I
and
still
so
love
with
Jared Whitmire.
that,
I don't think
wow,
he
I
can
gotta see. Oh my goodness, I gotta take my blood pressure pill because this man just sat here and said, and there's a gnat in here. If y'all see us do this every now and then, there's one
Yeah,
gnat.
his name is Darrell K.
There's
Douglas.
it's just one gnat.
It's the devil.
It's the devil. It's the devil.
I'm
But,
sorry, but I'm a hardcore Whitmire to the day I die.
I mean,
Because Whitmire is, since the day I met him, he always answers the phone when I call.
But see, but
Damn.
here's why that's scary.
When
Here's
I
why that's scary.
call.
Here's why that's scary.
When people in the community call his office when he was a senator,
Okay.
you know, he always answers the phone, and his staff always returns calls
He
if he doesn't answer the
Answers, but does he act? Because that's the main.
phone. He does
that-
act.
The main complaint I got from people that
Damn.
were against were in Molly's camp when she went against Whitmire was that he did nothing. They would give him a call, they would ask for requests, and they would hear zero things back
Oh,
from
did you
him.
get it?
And that was for years. That is not just something that's very recent. It was years before we even got to this point.
And then I would add to it. He literally said, if
Then, if he was such a bad
hold on,
senator,
hold on.
then how did he become the mayor? if he
Because
was
people like
such
you,
a bad
Voter
senator.
because people like
apathy.
you consider yourselves Democrats. So,
Thank you.
No, I don't consider I am. I'm a Democratic
So-
Party precinct chair.
You're a
and
conservative
have
Democrat
served.
like
but
Whitmire.
but here's what's wild. He was like he said this.
That would be a
it
true
wasn't-
statement.
Hold on. It wasn't surreptitiously recorded. It wasn't a hidden cam. He said out loud that the only opinion that matters in this thing is the governor when it comes to the discussion around.
And
the
he
decision
wouldn't be
with the
wrong.
Ordinance. Well, but then
I hate the governor,
He's
but
not
he's
the-
right.
He is not the mayor of the
I
city of
hate the
Houston.
governor, but he's right.
Well,
He's
but
not
Because
the
the
mayor.
governor has the power to withdraw funds, which he
But
did.
they also
He froze the funds.
the city has the power to sue, and they
Right.
should have sued because, mind you, a lot of the things that the Abbott administration consistently does is illegal. But it takes people having to check him on it to him to
Yes.
lose in court to
Yes.
finally actually do his
That's
damn
true.
job.
Like
That's
they've
my
done
thing of why
in other
he should have
cities and
fought that.
counties.
Yeah.
What I already knew was BS when he voted in favor of the ICE ordinance because he knew that Abbott was going to do something and he had a way to cop out. He is a coward.
Well, when I first saw him being a yes vote, I was like,
That's
oh, there
an
has to be.
opinion.
Because here's the thing: for some people that are at home, that think that like this stuff is random and that decisions don't have like thought behind it, and there's not a staff that are like planning the next steps. When he voted I thought, okay, what's the catch, right? And we saw what the catch was. He could look good and then say, "Oh,
So he's
look at-
damned if he does and
look at-
damned if he don't, with y'all far left
Well,
people.
So
No.
here's the
Did
thing.
you not hear? Like she just
Yeah.
explained to you
I
that it
gave
could
you
be fought in
receipts.
court.
This is
That's
not
what we should be
new,
doing.
right? This is not new. Mind you, he is the exact Democrat we need to get rid of. People that constantly play the line, people that constantly capitulate to Republicans who at every turn, if they are given the opportunity to screw us over, they'll do it twice.
Yeah.
And we can't keep giving them the inches. It is time.
There are no more
inches.
Oh, y'all make me want to become a Republican.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
arguing with a damn
I feel like
telephone
you are a
pole.
Republican.
I mean,
No, I'm a
Alright.
Democratic Party
So
precinct
you
chair.
say that,
My
but
name is
that's
not
the
Melanie
frustrating
Miles.
part is
I am
that-
not a
No,
Republican.
you-
The reason
you're
that
a-
people are
My
losing,
name is not Melanie Miles. I am not a
the
Republican.
reason people
Oh,
are
she
losing,
catching strays in here.
the reason people are losing
because
faith,
she's next on the list.
they are losing faith in
Put
Democratic
the
Party.
next one, please. Put the
Yes,
next one, please.
congratulations to
This should be a much
all
longer
of the
podcast.
people in precinct
Right.
7
So we've already talked
who
about-
voted for a Republican.
We already talked about this one right here. We have Orlando Sanchez up against Letitia Plummer. Who will Antonio vote for? That's the question.
Letitia Plummer, 150,000%.
Okay, put the next one up, please.
Woo!
Wait,
Now-
I'm not with it.
Oh, yeah, let's vote for Carisha.
Here's why you're up
But wait a
there.
minute, wait a minute. She's a far
Hold on,
leftist.
hold
We
on.
got to watch her.
Here's what I want to talk about now. I want to talk about people who are not in the runoff, but we have elections next year, and we have elections the year after that.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the people who I, think should be in the mix, and I think Carisha Rogers has to be one of those people. Thoughts?
Agreed.
100%. Absolutely.
Just as long as she's not too far left.
We need a dictionary
she
because
is
you're
a
using the
Democrat.
word leftist
She is a
and
Democrat.
progressive interchangeably.
I will say that she is a Democrat. I will say
There
this,
you
and
go.
I support Democrats.
Okay.
Democrats.
Okay, let's see who's up there next. Let's see who's
Still
up
Carisha.
there next.
Who that
Danielle
is?
Keys
Danielle,
Best.
yeah.
Oh.
No.
You say no? Why not?
How many times did Jolanda Jones beat her? Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. Is she going to be the next Jennifer Renee Poole? Is she going to run and run and run and run till her heels turn to pumps? I'm sorry. Say no to Danielle Keys Best.
Oh my God.
Say no. Just
No.
no. I will vote for Carisha over Danielle Keys Best any day. And I will transfer my membership and I'll say I'm Bernie Sanders AOC far leftist before I ever vote for Danielle Keys Best.
Danielle Keys Best. Danielle Keys Best, I think, is
Best
a great,
was not best.
Is a great candidate. Hopefully, we don't see the last of her. Put the next one up, please.
Who that is?
Travis McGee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember Mr. McGee.
Travis McGee. You want to switch out?
I liked him
Yeah.
when he ran for city
Travis
council.
McGee. Hopefully, we see him again on one of these. Oh, absolutely!
Yes.
Listen and hand me up.
I want a
six-pack.
purple one.
So I will tell you, and I want to know,
Nectar.
and then have a seat.
What is that?
Yes. So this is honeysuckle nectar. Okay, honeysuckle nectar.
Oh, Carlos is
And
bringing
so
us.
the person to my right, who y'all haven't seen yet,
Hola, hola.
he speak español,
Un poquitico.
right? And I met him because he's one of the speakers for TEDx Third Ward, right?
Yay.
Which is June 14th at Match Theater. But also, he's the owner of the Mood Room in Edo. The Mood Room is an amazing establishment. So not only does he own the Mood Room, he's also owns Honeysuckle Nectar.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Honeysuckle Nectar is a THC seltzer.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all progressives
Ooh.
love that.
Trouble.
It is a THC
I can't drink that.
seltzer. It's a THC seltzer.
Yeah, I'll join you.
Okay.
Yes, you're gonna take one too. Let me tell you something. So the first
trying to
time
give
that
me
we went to the
$5.
Mood Room, we went to the Mood Room because there was we had our first like mixer for the semifinalists.
Mixer.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And
Salud.
cheers, salute. Yes. Arriba, abajo. Oh, you don't do that for this one. Okay.
No, you only do that with tequila, sir. That's a Spanish.
I was
rule.
checked on my thing, but this is nice and smooth. So, without further ado, to my right, your left, the one and only Carlos Hernandez. Welcome to the Black House.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for this. Is a beautiful studio, and I'm honored to be at the Black House with you, sir.
Yes. So, tell us how you came up with the idea for the Mood Room and for this. Like, where does this come from?
Well, if I could just have 2 seconds before I jump into that, I was chomping at the bit, wishing I had a microphone just to
Ooh.
jump into the conversation.
Yes.
So I love the conversation. Amazing. I love all your viewpoints, and it was a lot of fun. So I appreciate
Yes.
you letting me be a part of that.
Yes.
The Mood Room. So the Mood Room is actually a spinoff from Honeysuckle Brand.
Mhm.
We started Honeysuckle Brand in 2021 on the back of the 2018 Farm Bill with hemp, and we were doing gummies, pre-rolls, things like that. My manufacturing partner said, "Hey, listen, the drinks are the next wave. You got to get the drinks," and I immediately saw it. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I immediately saw for cannabis beverages the way. And so they said, let's drop a canned drink. So we did it, and it was a slam dunk home run. And we've been rocking with it ever since. We divorced that manufacturing partner, but we have a brand new co-packer now, and we've been with them for a couple of years. And so the Mood Room, we lost our retail space because where we were renting out, it was being subleased, and that guy wasn't paying rent. So we had to all leave. We all got evicted. So I said, okay, well, now I have a drink. I need to have a bar so I can share it with people. And really the Mood Room was just a vessel so that I could have this on tap. You've tried it. You're trying it right now. When you sample it, when people sample it, they typically buy it 95% of the time. And so the Mood Room kind of grew from that. And then we've been in business for about 1.5 years now. And we expanded the drink program to include not just the THC beverages, but mushroom infused beverages like Lion's Mane and Reishi, zero proof mocktails that are actually made with zero proof spirits and not just juice. We boast the largest non-alcoholic options in the city of Houston, probably in the state of Texas, if I'm being honest. And it just really kind of, you got to go where the market is. Like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, and the alcohol industry lost $823 billion the last 4 years.
Because people aren't, it's almost like cigarettes. So cigarettes were a huge thing. And then like, I don't know anyone in my family that smokes, right?
Me neither. Everybody quit.
We'll smoke cigarettes that don't smoke.
Our family, I smoked the real.
But
Me too.
right. Well, and that was a shocker.
Everyone always says that.
Let me tell you,
would
we
never.
pulled
Everyone
up.
always
We pulled
says
up.
that.
I hopped out of the Uber.
Did a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
I was just like, I would have never guessed. But here's what's cool with this. I think people, especially this younger generation, they're doing like what do they call it? The Borgs, where they get like the gallon of whatever, and they mix the alcohol with the electrolytes.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
So it's like people are already, I don't know about y'all, but I turned 40 this year. And the last 2 times that I went out, that next morning, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even drink that much, right? And then you're doing the electrolytes and you're trying to get yourself up, right? When I drank that time at the Mood Room, I had a nice little sizzle, right? Nice little sizzle, and woke up like, ready for the day. And so I do think that it has actually changed my habit. The last time that I went out, when I ended up drinking alcohol, it was because they didn't have another option. I actually asked, do you have anything non-alcoholic, hoping that they would have a seltzer back there, and they didn't. So I think as people try this, they will do that. And the gummies are amazing.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest, and this is a bar owner saying this, if we're being honest, alcohol is poison.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is. It's not meant to operate within our bodies. We don't have a natural cutoff for alcohol in our brains. That's why we drink until we black out, until we pass out. Nothing's telling us to stop internally. Now, with cannabis, we have an endocannabinoid system. And so our body is meant to interact with these compounds. And so you're only going to get as high as you're going to get before you're like, hey, man, I'm ready to go ahead and have a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Can
saying?
you explain to me what exactly is in this and what makes it legal to sell?
100%. So in 2018, they federally legalized industrial hemp. Hemp and cannabis. I don't like to say marijuana because that's just a racist term for it, if we're being honest, right? So cannabis, hemp, they all have the scientific name cannabis sativa. It's the same exact plant.
Okay.
But hemp typically has a lower THC content. I think that they didn't know what they were doing.
So if I was
honest.
to drink one of these and I was to get pee test or hair follicle,
you will hit, yes.
So I would test positive for
Oh,
drugs.
good to know.
So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what I tell
Oh, okay,
everybody.
so I can't
I
touch that.
I
I'm
consume
sorry, y'all.
cannabis every single day. If I was to
But y'all
take a urine
progressives are
test,
more than
then I
welcome to
would
drink.
definitely hit.
Not a problem.
If somebody who barely consumes once a month and you take a drink, chances are you're, as long as it's urine test, you're not going to hit because
Mhm.
you're not, it's not, your body's not saturated with it.
Yeah.
Right. So the cool thing about this is it's low dose. We believe in the power of low dose. The intent here is not to knock people out. It's really to give, as Jarrell said, an alcohol alternative.
Yeah.
And truth be told, that's been the unintended consequence or most gratifying thing is people's habits have changed. I've had
Mhm.
people come to the bar and tell me, man, I barely drink anymore. This has helped me. Even if it's one or two of these in between alcoholic drinks.
So would it be
You're winning.
considered medicinal?
We don't like to make medicinal claims. We're
Okay.
a recreational brand.
Oh, it's
I'm
recreational.
from Miami,
okay.
so we just like to have fun and party. And that's really was the intent behind it.
And where do you market it? Do you market it in head shop? Well, my day they call them head shops. I don't know what they're called
Well,
now.
you see the grays in my beer. We call them head shops.
Okay. Do you market it?
What
Do
is
you
a
mar-
head shop? Okay, you got
A head
sorry.
shop
Well,
is-
you know when you're
Smoke
looking for a BJ, you go to the head. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Well, I
a
was
head
like,
shop
wait.
is where they sell what did you say? Cannabis?
They
They
sell
sell
paraphernalia,
Smoke
paraphernalia-
shop.
Smoke
Smoke
that's
shop.
what
smoke
that's
shop,
called
you know,
now. Smoke
bongs,
shop.
pipes, wraps,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So what's interesting is I've lived in 2 different states where it's legal. All right. So I lived in Seattle. I lived across the street from a dispensary.
No wonder they.
I
crazy in
don't think
Seattle.
there were ever more than 2 days in a row that I was not up there. Right. And it was the most productive. Right. I wasn't drinking. Right. I mean, it's like you understand where your tolerance level is. And then again, when I moved to Detroit, of course, has legalized. And so this is so cool. Where can people go? And this says happy days ahead, and it's DAZE. I love that.
To answer your question, we intentionally haven't really been marketing to head shops and smoke shops.
Okay.
And the reason is because there's a misconception in the cannabis
Oh, yeah.
community where
They want to hit it
Potency.
over the head.
potency
Yeah.
is quality.
Yeah.
And that's not the demographic that now is there a crossover? 100%.
Mhm.
But that's not really our demo. I target restaurants,
Mhm.
bars, because I'm looking for that soccer mom who's
Mhm.
going to put this in her Yeti when she's going to soccer practice
Oh Lord.
and maybe drop the wine bottle instead. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
I like that.
to
That's
answer
a
your
great
question.
marketing skill as an alternative to alcohol. I love that.
You definitely
Have
gotta
you
come to the
thought
movement.
of doing like so many of these other places like Whataburger and Chick-fil-A have done HEB because HEB is Texas and it's local. Have you thought about reaching out to somebody, a CEO or somebody
Well,
of HEB
I would say-
and marketing there?
Yeah, so a lot of the big chains
They
are
don't want to touch
they're
it.
not they're afraid to touch it
Oh,
right
they
now.
are? Okay.
At least the Texas brands.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because of the uncertainty. I'm not an expert in government, but being in cannabis, you got to be an expert in government, the law,
Yeah.
marketing,
Yeah, all of it,
science,
yeah.
chemistry, all of it.
Mhm.
So do
And
you
I
just
think-
want to
I
keep it
think-
local? I'm
I
sorry.
think
I have so many
thank you.
questions.
The
I
black,
apologize.
the Black House. Okay, I'm really.
Well, we
getting back
turn it
in,
brown. We
okay?
turning it brown.
So, but I do want to say, like, what's so cool about it is the way that I was introduced to this. I was introduced to this at the Mood Room, which is like a very chill spot.
Mhm.
And just naturally, the people who were there, even other times, it's the people who weren't with our group were just a very like just positive, mellow group. Can you tell a little bit about your talk? He's about to do a TEDx talk June 14th.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the talk or the idea behind it in general.
Yeah, so I really had zero expectations for this talk. Like it literally popped up on Threads. I didn't know what I would talk about. It popped up on Threads and I said, I'm going to shoot my shot. And I applied. And then when they said, okay, well, now you have to submit a video about what you're going to talk about, the idea came to me. And it's something that I had noticed, but I didn't have a language for it. I didn't have a word for it, where I noticed the way that people were connecting was much different than when we were kids. You know, I come from Miami. We come from the bottle culture. That's a whole nother vibe. And what I noticed at the Mood Room, aside from the conscious consumption part of it, was the connections that people were making in terms of they're taking these online communities who don't necessarily have a physical space, but they want to connect together. And so they sought out the Mood Room to bring their online community to us. And then in there and in those environments, when people showed up with intention, when people showed up with purpose, the connections happen much quicker. Like I may have never met you in person,
Yeah.
but then we're here with the same purpose. Either we're building something, a board game or a DIY nail thing or whatever it is that all the things that we've done, the connections were like this, as opposed to that same person may come in on a Saturday night with no intention and just on their phone.
Yeah.
And they leave alone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they didn't talk to nobody.
Right.
You know, so that's what the talk is about.
And so one of the things that I've realized with TEDx, this will be our third TEDx event, cohort 3. By the end of this, we will have put, let's see, 16 plus 30 is 46 plus 30, 76, 82 people will have been able to share their idea. And while there's a lot of cynicism in our society, right? There's so much that's going on. One of the things that I've found to be a light is that there are actual positive people out there. There are actually big ideas, and I think we're putting a megaphone and a microphone in front of the wrong people. One of the things that I actually love and enjoy is curating my get-togethers, my gatherings, right? So if you've ever been to one of my kickbacks, people usually say like, wow, that was so cool, right? The breakfast or any of the little things, and there's really a lot of intention behind it. And so, you know, I've had the luxury of meeting some cool-ass people, right? And when you meet cool-ass people, you know who cool-ass people are, right? And everybody doesn't have to think the same way. Everybody doesn't have to come from the same background. But if everybody's vibrating high, it's going to be a good time. And I think that that is what life is all about. So one of the things that I pitched to Carlos, I was like, so a couple of different ideas that are coming down the pike. The first one is we're going to do a book club. Okay.
Down.
So looking at when we did that first semi-finalist kickback thing or mixer, we called it. We did one at this chicken place and we did one at the Mood Room. I just sat back and just watched everybody interact, right? And I was like, oh, we got to do something with this. And then we have an online community called School. And so on School, it's like all these people that are interacting from all over the United States, all over the world, right? On our stage, June the 14th, we got Christine from Australia. We got Kadi from the Netherlands. We got, Davide from Canada.
Like you got
and
a
then
United Nations.
we have Matthew Knowles. Beyonce's dad is going to be on the stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my God. You just found it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be at the 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you're watching and you want to attend, if you're watching and maybe you want to attend and you don't have the cash to attend, reach out, right? I won't turn you away. But one of the things that I want to say about this book club, it's been so cool to see y'all share your ideas and interact on School. That's where the idea came from. So imagine choosing a book where we have access to the author, okay? So everybody's going to read the book, and then week 1, there are prompts. Maybe week 2, everybody's commenting on this one story that the author mentioned in chapter 3, and she's going to read that chapter and then say, now I'm going to give you all the real that didn't end up in the book. And I'm going to be able to answer the questions about the book. And then at the end of the month, we meet in person. You know what I mean? But the thing that I pitched to Carlos, I want to do a once a month. Raise your hand if you're a Tiny Desk fan. And if you are watching online, put your favorite Tiny Desk. And I'm going to ask y'all 2 of your favorite. I'm going to say Tank and the Bangas. Love Tank and the Bangas. Who was your favorite Tiny Desk, if you have one?
I mean, Scarface's was amazing.
Oh my God. Yes. Scarface was amazing.
Really, really good.
I have no idea what the hell y'all talking about.
And I'm not surprised because it's cultural. Steve.
I don't know what the hell a damn Tiny Desk
So
is.
I know Tiny is. I cannot remember my favorite one so far. I'd have to think about it.
Okay. But what I love about Tiny Desk is
It's sort of like our modern day version of MTV Unplugged.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes, that is what it
Thank you.
is.
Great analogy.
So it's like it's really laid back, and the artists aren't trying to like overperform.
Mm-mm.
It's very acoustic, it's very like from in here. And I love the community that it creates, right? So once a month, we want to do sort of a spinoff between Tiny Desk. Because think about it like this, whether it's the book club or whether it's this thing that I'm pitching, we want the best of the best to apply and want to be part of it. And we want to curate the experience, right, that people will experience. So I'm super excited. July 26th, I think, is the date that
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
we chose. It's
Exciting.
going to be a Sunday thing. We want it to be recorded, just like MTV Unplugged. We want people to like hear the music, hear the spoken word, hear the idea, hear the poetry, and say, "Where's this thing? I want to go."
And like Darrell said, we want this to be a place like one of these things where you visit Houston, you have to come
You have
to
to come
the
in.
to the
You
to the
have
Tiny
to
Desk
do
or
that.
to the
Yeah.
Mood Room version.
The Mood Room, live from the Mood Room.
Yep.
And so let's see, we have Ellen
Exciting.
Morris, we have Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castex Tatum, we have
Ah.
Tico Reynolds Hausman, we have Aunt Nita is still hanging with us. Tico says, yes, Carisha is the truth. We have Charlene Jones. Charlene Jones usually sits right there where you are, Stevie.
We love you,
Hey,
Charlene
Charlene.
Jones.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm just so proud to see that something like this exists, that you're grabbing life by the horns. And, you know, with everything else that's going on in the world, you have the Mood Room and you have Honeysuckle Nectar. Isn't that amazing?
I enjoyed the mood room. Very
Yes.
nice.
I appreciate it. That
Sincerely,
means
I've
a
told
lot.
my bar friends, like, y'all need to go check this place out. And they're like, it's called what? I'm like, just go to the mood room. Eat
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That means a lot. I
That's a
appreciate
bar?
it. Yeah, it's a bar. So we're in the East End. There's a building called Ironworks. It's right off of Milby and Harrisburg.
Okay.
And so the Ironworks building has been there. It's a historical building, been there for a super long time. There's a marketplace inside. There are like shipping container market with retailers and things like that. So we have a room all the way in the back. The challenge for us is that we don't have street visibility. So we depend on these communities
I
to
kind
come
of think
in.
that's part of your thing.
Yes,
I
the
think we should leave
speakeasy
it
vibes.
there.
Mhm.
Listen,
Yeah.
I think
You don't know
that's-
it's there unless you
yes.
unless you know it's there.
You're invited. And,
If
and
you
then with
know,
that-
you know.
right. And that sort of gives it this, like, if you know, you know kind of vibe. And everybody in there, it's just so chill.
We got free parking.
You got free
Mm.
parking. Also, the first time we went, there was a lady in there just selling tacos
Oh, outside?
inside.
Oh, inside.
Sold.
Ay, Tia Maria,
Who
she's
said-
everywhere.
She-
I gotta call that bitch and tell her to
She was-
stop going to other people's places and passing out them tacos, Maria.
Maria Maldonado.
Right, Maria Maldonado. And the DJ, Wave.
Wave, yeah. He's
DJ Wave is so cool.
he's
You know,
awesome.
whether it's a DJ, whether it's the host of the party, whether it's the owner of the bar, the vibe will reflect them.
Mhm.
And he's just vibes.
He is
Mhm.
vibes. He was referred to me through somebody who I have a good relationship with in the in this world, and he's been great. He's almost a resident now, and the best thing about him is like he's super resourceful. So if he can't make it and I need a DJ on the fly,
Mhm.
he's got his little collective and he'll send me someone.
Mhm.
So if you want to see DJ Wave, he actually will be spinning Friday night at the Mood Room from 8 to 12. We have
Nice.
reverse
Yes.
happy hour from 9 to 11.
¿Dónde eres?
Soy cubano. Mi padre es un cubano.
Órale.
He said, "Where are you from?" And then he said he's Cuban.
So when you guys were talking about the politics and talking about the Hispanic vote and things like that, I have a very, very different perspective because I am Cuban, but I was born in South Carolina. I was raised in Savannah, Georgia, between Miami and Savannah, Georgia. And so I've seen the other side. I've been to the other side.
Mhm, mhm. That is really cool. You know, one of the things that really stand out for me, here you are, you said you're a serial entrepreneur. I
Absolutely.
consider myself one too.
Yeah, yeah.
I consider myself one too. I don't talk about half the shit that I actually do. You know why? Because people hate. They either compete or they try to shut stuff down. So I'm like, hey, all y'all need to do, I do a podcast and I register voters. But I think that is very powerful, especially in 2026, because there's a lot of people, I would argue right now, that are applying for jobs that should start something and then it'll take off. And Issa Rae, you know who Issa Rae is?
Mhm.
So Issa Rae, she's a filmmaker. She started with this thing called Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. I didn't catch on to her then. And many people would not catch on to what you're doing where you are now. I didn't catch on to Issa Rae until Insecure. And so Insecure comes out and it became a weekly ritual.
Mhm.
I was having Insecure watch parties and then they would have like this after show. Oh, then I don't know about y'all, but I kind of do this with true crime stuff too. Like I watch the true crime thing or I listen to it. Now I'm on Wikipedia. Now I'm in the Montgomery County the online portal to see what's up with the court date.
Right.
Now I'm looking up people's Facebook like accounts. Like now I'm in.
Who was the DA?
Right. Who was the DA then? And what happened to that? Right. And so no, it's kind of like that became the thing. And then I found out, so I'm digging into Issa Rae, and it's like, oh, she like crowdsourced this thing. And sometimes the best, like think about American Idol or think about like these other shows. What are those people that won? They're not right. It's the other people. So my ask to you is this right here that y'all are experiencing, was an idea. Literally. I was like, you know what? It was right after Sheila Jackson Lee had just passed away.
May she rest in peace.
And I was like, I know there's going to be a big program somewhere. And I know that there's not enough time for us to do 3-minute resolutions. And I understood because she gave me my start in this world. I was like, I want there to be sort of an outlet for everybody else to do their thing. And so we did it here, and it's turned into this.
So we got Sheila to blame for Darrell K.
Sheila to blame for this.
Another damn
Right.
thing we can hold against the great, powerful Sheila.
Or the whole TEDx thing. It was just an idea. If you would have told me 3 years ago that I'll be curating a TEDx event, I would have been like, what are you drinking? Not
And then you would say,
honeysuckle nectar.
honeysuckle nectar.
Not honeysuckle nectar. So my hope is this: there's somebody who's watching this, who's thinking about doing the thing. I used to do real estate investing. Technically, I still do, but it's very stressful. 1 star, do not recommend. I mean, I made my money, I got out, right? But I'll say this: they have this group called Bigger Pockets, and so I would go online and I'll watch their videos. And this guy said something one time that made a lot of sense. He said, in order to do real estate deals, you need 3 different things. You need the expertise, you need the time, and you need the money. Now, if you have all 3, go ahead and jump in. If you only have one of them, you can find someone with the others and make it work. So if you have the expertise, right, to drive for dollars, if you know where the tax lien auctions are, if you know that, but you don't have the money and the time, you can make it work, right? You can find somebody with the money. Or if you have the money, you can find somebody with the time and the expertise. And if we work more collaboratively, we could get so much more done, right?
Agreed. I believe that the self-made person is a myth.
Yes.
Somebody helped you along the way. Somebody gave you a hand. They introduced you to someone, or your parents. I mean, they helped raise you.
Yeah.
So the self-made, you have to have a team. You can't do it alone.
Yes.
I mean, you try to do it alone, you're just going to burn out, and then you're not going to want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And if I had to say the one thing that has been my Achilles heel is a lack of focus and a lack of, getting distracted by the shiny object. Right. And just stay the course, because as entrepreneurs, we kind of get, oh my God, we get bored and we want to go to the next thing, but you got to stay the course.
Can I challenge that a bit?
Please.
So there are a lot of people who end up telling everybody that they want to open a bakery, and they start baking cookies and they start baking cakes. And then they run into the problem because they wanted to scale up. They figure out, oh, this doesn't actually work the way that I thought it would. But they've told so many people about it, so they force the thing. I would argue that you're not finding the next shiny thing. I would argue that you're hypersensitive to metrics, what works and what doesn't.
That's fair.
I'm very quick to say, hey, I know we were doing this, and I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know how many times people reach out? I thought you was in Detroit flipping houses. Yeah, made a lot of money doing it. And then I stopped, right?
Yep.
I thought you were, yes, right? And so a lot of times we do things because we're worried about what other people think. And then a lot of times we're scared to start something because whenever you start something, it's the ugly part, right? Like I was scared. I wanted, I thought I would do braids, right? Between the taper and this was the ugly part. What's the ugly part, right? Now I put some S-curl texturized thing in there for a little bit. And then we got to this, but there's always the ugly part with starting anything that, we got to get over. When they say it's Aristotle, but it wasn't. But the only way to avoid criticism is to say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing.
That's right.
And I would argue that so many answers to life's questions could be solved by us. Now, so I got to ask you, you've done Honeysuckle, you have the Mood Room, you've done a bunch of other stuff. what's that thing that's at the top of your head that you're like, if I could really do it, I would do this right now?
Really, I don't think about anything but the Mood Room and Honeysuckle and TEDx right now.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
I'm so emotionally, my energy, everything is just into this right now that
Mhm.
my main goal is for this, become a local hero.
Yep.
As you said, win your local market. I come from the hip hop era where you got to become a local hero
Gotta sell it out
first.
the trunk.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then have somebody come in and buy me out.
Ooh.
And then run in, because it's gonna, if you can prove your sales,
Yeah.
then one of these big dogs, if you know that company Poppy, that
Popple or whatever it is. Yeah,
that,
yeah,
Bi-
Yeah,
probiotic
so-
soda
yeah, I
or
remember
whatever.
that.
Dude, they got bought by Pepsi for like I don't know how many billions of dollars.
Really?
Absolutely.
And what would you do if you did that? I think you'd be bored.
No, I would probably I'd find something else that I'm into and jump in, and because for me the goal is to sell and then try something else and then try to build something else.
Yeah, I heard
right?
somebody else say that too.
And always going to the next thing, to the next thing.
Yeah.
And leave a legacy for my daughter, you know, and also the broader mission of helping people kick alcohol.
Yes.
And the broader mission of having a place like the Mood Room where people belong and feel like they belong, and what you order to drink is not the price of admission. It's who you want to be and who you are in that moment.
Y'all.
Love
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Antonio, if it were up to you, if you jumped in to be a serial entrepreneur, what would you start? What would you invent? What would
I invent?
or what would you want? What would you want to start?
If I was to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. I'd probably find something that somebody already has invented,
Okay.
and then I would add something onto it to make it better.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'd probably do.
I think you should start some kind of a social club. I think you're really good at sharing flyers. People really do depend on you and Kay Shepherd. You know what I mean?
How dare you?
Nothing against
Them's
no.
fighting words.
No, love me some Kay Shepherd. I mean, Kay Shepherd don't really like me these days.
She don't like me either.
But I mean, I would argue. I think you're really good at that, and I think people
Oh,
really
thank you.
look forward to it. Yeah,
Thank you.
Stevie.
Oh, I have no idea what my business venture would be.
Oh my gosh, you're a writer. You're an amazing facilitator.
Mm.
You're a thought leader. You have a way of expressing complicated things in simple ways.
Can we clip this, please, so I can play it back to myself every morning? Because I genuinely have
Right.
no idea what I'm doing.
Yes,
I genuinely
it
don't
is
know.
So
None
good.
of us do, I don't think.
I have no
It's so
idea.
good. And I think that's the way it works. The best are like, really? You think so? And it's like, yes, you're very good at that. You know, I think about, the way that people digest information. I think, you have the behemoth orgs, the, newspapers and this and that, and conglomerate. We're at a point now to where the same way Issa Rae started Awkward Black Girl is like a YouTube channel. And for encouragement, just go back and look at her first
Mhm.
season. And I'm like, wow, this is really bad. But look at where it ended up, right? And I think in each of us is that. In each of us is that.
Well, and to your point, right? The ugly part.
Yeah.
Right. I was just talking to one of my staff members the other day about this. You have this space between I don't know how to do something and I do know how to do something. If you feel comfortable in that space, you can do
Yes.
anything you want.
Yeah.
And the challenge for all of us is with these devices, we're all like that instant gratification and we
mhm.
don't let things simmer. And it's like, if I don't get it in the first 2 weeks, and this ain't working.
Mhm.
So if you can be comfortable in that not knowing space and just keep going, you can do anything you want.
I'd like to know how much do you sell it in 6-packs? Do you sell it in
This is a six
do
Yeah.
you sell it
I do
individually?
sell in
How much
6-pack.
are they?
I sell it in 6-packs. The 6-pack is $32. So you basically, or $30. So you basically pay in $1 a milligram. Is the way we price it out.
And are there any type of FDA things on there or warning labels?
Yeah,
or-
of course. This is
I
essentially.
mean, I'm curious because I've never heard of this product before.
No. Listen. I welcome any and all questions. I don't run away from it. We try to be as transparent as
Oh
possible.
Lord, somebody Uber him home.
Oh, I Ubered here.
I was kind of worried when I saw you pop up because I remember how you were at the Mood Room.
let me tell you, at the Mood Room, I was up there. Do you
We
hear
should all
me?
go there and get drunk.
I was up
Yes,
there.
come
And
through.
what- and
Let's
listen,
throw him some business,
What
y'all.
was so-
Come through
what-
Friday night.
what was so interesting, you know how like you're doing a thing. So like I understood like people wanted to keep having conversations, but y'all, I am up there.
I tried to get an interview. I was like, hey, I really
texted
wanted
her.
to talk to him. And I'm like, you feel up to an interview? You
I
know,
was like,
do you have the energy? He's like,
I can't wait to have him on my new show, Tea
It
Time
probably
with
takes
Tony.
about everybody's body's different, right? It's the same thing with alcohol. Like you
Yeah.
could probably take, 2-3 shots and be okay. What if I take 2 or 3 shots and I'm lit and I can't do nothing, right? So there's a little bit of experimenting. And what I tell everybody is like, you see the grays in my beard. I'm old school. I'm roller lighted smoking. So I had to do experimenting on my body to know what my number is, right? So now I know. Somebody on Threads the other day asked, do you guys take gummies for concentration? And if so, how does that work? Well, I know what dose is going to give me concentration and the dose that's not going to give me
Wow.
concentration.
Well, isn't it proven that hemp or cannabis helps with anxiety and things like that to calm?
At the
people's
right
nerves?
dosage. If you take
Okay.
too much, then they're going to heighten your anxiety because
Okay.
you OD and you're just greening out. Like I'm too stoned. People are going to look at me. You start feeling self-conscious,
And then it multiplies.
the paranoia, right? So that's why you hear the horror stories of people like, oh, I took gummies and I'll never do that again. Okay, well, what's the rest of the story? Well, you was already drunk.
Yeah.
You took one, you said it didn't work, so you took another one, and you said it didn't work.
Oh my God, you
you
remind me of when I was in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
That happened to me
Yeah.
with,
And you know
with
you're
something
3
called
in, and
acid
you're like, oh my God,
when I was young.
You know
is
what's
that
worse?
Jesus?
Yes.
What's worse is when you can't remember how many you've taken. Yeah. You're like, wait a minute. Ooh, I took one. Then, oh my gosh. Get ready. Attention. This is your captain
Visuals.
speaking.
Yeah,
Please make sure your
exactly.
tray's in the upright position. Prepare
Exactly.
for takeoff. No, this has been really, really cool. We can swap. You got to
Yeah.
sit there a while. I got to
Absolutely.
ask everybody questions. So we can swap. Carisha.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have these? Okay, great.
We will miss you, Darrell.
Huh?
We will miss you.
You what?
We will miss you.
Listen,
When you
we're
go on
gonna
your
be-
trip.
this too is
He gonna
fine.
be
This is
on
nothing.
another
He's going on his trip,
planet,
yeah.
another planet.
But Carisha, I think you just did an interview with
Daryl.
Daryl Jordan. Take the reins. Ask any of us anything. What do you think?
All right. Well, I
Is
guess
there anything you ever want to know about Darrell?
yes. That's actually a good question.
Where do you get your money?
That was on top of my head.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What's gotten you so far? Right.
When you say so far, like describe like so far.
A guy who's run for office, who is now a leader of a major nonprofit, and like you're able to do a lot of things. How do you manage that? Because for me, I like 2 or 3 tasks most. If if it starts going overflow, my brain will slip away from it. But you have been able to do way more than that.
Thank you. A lot of people actually assume that I'm busy all the time, and I really do live a pretty leisure life. When I think about doing a thing, I always think about how can I make it happen without me having to be there. So whether it's the car rental fleet, whether it's the nonprofit, like we have a meeting it used to be every Monday morning at 11, and now it's on Saturdays at 10. I live my life in such a way, and I make sure that I have a really good team around me to where Friday night I can text ... and say, hey, I'm not going to be there. Or if I don't show up, it's still going to run. Now, people may be a little worried. I may get a couple phone calls, but yeah, that is kind of how it works. And then I'm not afraid to try new things. I'm not afraid to fail. I've tried a lot of things. I'm like, ooh, we're not going to do that again. But a lot of things have worked out. And the last thing that I'll say, I surround myself, I intentionally surround myself with like doers. We don't have to do the same thing, but I'm really quick to say no. I'm really quick to guide someone away. And yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow up with one other question. How are you not afraid of failure? Because like I will give an example. You know me running for 18. That was rough. I think it was a little too hard on myself during it, and so it took me a while to kind of bounce back up from it. But like, yeah, how do you kind of keep that mentality? Like, okay, it happened. I'm down to the next one.
I think for everything that I plan, I have what I call the Cadillac Escalade version of it, which is like everything works out. What we put in the Google Doc everything works out. And then we have the plan that's down here, the Toyota Tercel plan. They don't even make Tercels no more, right? So that is the bottom falls out. It is as worse as it could be. If I can deal with that, and it's worth it, let's roll the dice.
Gotcha.
And I think, at the end of the day, most people are not paying attention to you. Most people are player one. They're living their own life. They have their own stuff to worry about. And I spent so long being a people pleaser, saying yes to pool parties. I don't like the pool, didn't like the person, but for some reason I'm there, right? Or trying to like reply to all the text messages, because if I don't reply to this text messages, then this person is gonna. No, I keep those people away. I try to keep it, streamlined. And what's the worst that'll happen? What's the worst that could happen? They're gonna think that they're gonna think this of me or think that of me, and it's like, yeah, it really just.
I think he needs a personal assistant.
I would if I didn't already have one.
Ooh, so you do have a personal assistant. Where are you hiding this little Puerto Rican boy?
Yeah, okay. You.
You know that's why he always going to Puerto Rico.
So Steve, about your the way that you do your social media, and because sometimes you come out hitting, and I think what talk a little. I wanted you to kind of hear more about like what gives you that motivation to be like, I gotta say it. This is.
Oh, so I think like Darrell does that. Nobody's listening, nobody cares, and so that's how I operate. Nobody's listening to me, nobody cares. I'm nobody, and somebody needs to say it needs to be said. So I'm gonna say it. Nobody cares.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna hear me. Although occasionally they do. Mr. Allen let me know in person. Which, by the way, Mr. Lawrence Allen, a very nice gentleman. I believe we have a nice cordial relationship. Great guy. So.
Yeah. And then for Mr. needs to turn his phone on vibrate.
Oh Lord. Oh no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Don't roast me.
It's got to be one person every show.
What keeps you going actually? Because like you stand against the foe, and I think that's a trait in its own. So like what keeps you kind of in that mode?
Stand against
the foe. Like you see a lot of people we support one thing, but you're like, I got my loyalty, right? Like
for me, it's just loyalty. I mean, people that have done like Darrell, for instance. Darrell is a good friend. We argue, we fight all the time about all kinds of stuff, politics mainly, and crazy people, Melanie Miles, Anise Parker, things like that. But no, at the end of the day, I guess what keeps me going is people like Darrell. I aspire to be like Jolanda Jones or Darrell or what's her name? Lori Robinson. These are strong people that I look up to. Somebody like former council member Robert Gallegos, Mario Gallegos, the senator. There's just so many. But one of my favorites is always and forever will be Sylvia Garcia and Carol, obviously, too. These are strong Latin women, strong Black men, and strong Black women. So funny, long story short, people make fun of me because I sometimes joke and say, I identify as a Black woman. And I got into an argument with my friend Lori Robinson. Yes, we got into an argument. She knows she's my best friend. One day we hate each other. The next day we're best friends, Mm-hmm. And she goes, I'm something you'll never be. You're what what she tell me? She goes, I'm something you will never be. You're just bad because you're not Lori Robinson, a Black woman. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And she didn't quite say that. It was paraphrasing, but it was so funny. And a lot of my friends, they always tell me, do you really? I said, no, I just joke around, but I was raised in the Black community. When I say Black community, I was raised in like South Park, Sunnyside area. Even though technically I lived in Garden Villas, I never went. Well, I did go to school in Garden Villas, but I was moved to Kelso Elementary, which is in a Black neighborhood. And then I also went to Hartman Middle School. Then they wanted me to go to Sterling High School. Mama said no. She said, no, we gonna stick you with the Mexicans. So she sent me to Milby. But I mean, like I said, I grew up mostly in around Black women. And so I've always looked up to Black women. Not to say that white women like my mom are not strong, but
Your mom was white?
my mother was white. Yes.
Really?
Yes. And she was a Democrat. She was not a Republican. And because somebody told me the other day, no wonder.
Oh my God.
And I said, what is that supposed to mean? Was your mom a Republican? I
Oh,
said, are you kidding? She would be rolling in her grave right now.
oh,
Although she was from one of the most racist states that there is to live.
I was just about to follow up
Tennessee.
with what kind of Democrat?
Yeah, yeah.
A Dixie Creek. Okay, so she, okay,
Tennessee.
you understand
She
that
was-
that was like conservative, right?
No, she wasn't a Dixiecrat though. She was hardcore yellow
Okay,
dog.
okay,
I'm totally
okay,
different from
okay,
my
okay,
mom.
okay.
My mom was a hardcore yellow dog
That's all question.
Gotcha.
voting
Mhm.
Democrat, and my father is too. Me and my dad would get in political arguments because he would say, that person's not a Democrat. How can you support? I said, it's nonpartisan. Bob, no. Nonpartisan. No, nonpartisan. Either they vote in the Democrat primary or they don't. That me and my dad would get into this all the time.
Wow.
And he was hardcore, straight
Would
up
you ever run for
Democrat.
office?
Me?
Again, well, like run for higher office, I'll say. Because
Yeah.
technically, I don't know if y'all have ever been to a political event. They usually have the elected officials to sign in.
Yeah, you're gonna tell. I know what you're gonna
And
say.
he's a precinct chair, which is technically an elected position. He will interrupt
I sure will.
the proceedings to be acknowledged.
Yeah, I
as a
pissed
precinct
off
chair.
Sheila.
But what would you run for? What would you run for if you
If
were to
I
run?
had the funds and the backing, I would love to run for District I
Ooh.
or for Houston City College trustee, one of those two.
Mhm.
If I had the funds, the truth of the matter is you have to have stable employment.
Well,
Because-
you don't. I would argue
And
that
I
struggling
don't
employment-
have stable employment
Mhm.
right now. I mean, I work security and it's sometimes,
Seasonal?
it's basically a seasonal job.
Mhm.
But if I had the funds, I would run for District I, and I would not run as a Democrat, obviously. I would run nonpartisan,
Mhm.
but I would use my platform to be on the Democratic Party.
Mhm.
I don't think there
I
would be
would-
anything conservative that I would put.
So this
Yeah,
is what I
at
would
all.
put. This is what I would put
Democrat.
towards folks that are listening. So I think whatever it is that you do or that you do well, there's always another version of that is cash flowing. So if I were you, I would look into what it takes to be one of the licensed organizations that can provide the services that you provide. Because
thank you.
instead of being the person who's a security guard for the security company, go be the security company because you probably already know the rules. You already know a lot of the stuff, and you can be an owner operator to begin with. You can be highly competitive. You may have to lose a little bit in the beginning to be very competitive, but you get a couple of 5-star reviews.
Well, I've gotten contracts for actually my companies that I've worked for.
Mhm,
I've
mhm,
gotten contracts for them before,
mhm.
and it is whew,
Well,
it's negotiation.
well, and then I'll say this too: like, I don't do local politics like contracts. So I will never take money from somebody running for city council or running for state rep because, and I tell my barber this all the time, you can be a $20 barber or you can be a $100 barber, but you can't be both, right?
Mhm.
So there's a reason why Beyonce may go to the Grammys. Beyonce's not going to be at your church's Christmas thing, right? Or at certain other things. So think about the contracts that you do accept because people will do their research. If you call if a political candidate is thinking about hiring you, they're going to look at what you were paid last time, or that's internal talk. And so they'll talk amongst themselves and say what it costs. And so if you really want it to go long, sometimes we have a saying in the Black community when it comes to dominoes: all money ain't good money.
This is true, which I learned from your
But my thing,
video.
yeah,
I watched
video,
that. It was
yeah.
very educational.
Thank you. But it's
Yeah.
true. All money ain't good money. You
But
know.
I think I would like to run for District I
Mhm.
or for Houston City College trustee.
And to that point, I would argue when you do run, you don't want to be in a position where you've got elected by other people's money.
Yeah.
And so now you're depending on that with the decisions that you make. And sometimes we see this when you look at
Mhm.
city council, You can. It's so easy to look
'Cause
at
you owe
donors
people.
and this and that.
Yeah.
Well, you owe people, and you got to pay the car note. You got to pay the mortgage. You want to be in a position where you can put a lot down. That'll make a lot of donors more comfortable to donate to you.
Well, that's one thing I like about progressives is that a lot of them, like what was it, Karthik?
Mhm.
He's a hardcore progressive.
Who's Karthik?
He is actually our finance chair.
Oh, is he?
caucus, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I met him when he ran for
22.
was it
15?
Was it? I thought
He ran against Molly.
did he?
Yeah.
Was he running against Molly? Okay.
During-
Well, when I
yeah.
met him, and we had some good conversations, despite the fact that he's a hardcore progressive. I
That's
liked
really
some of his.
interesting.
I liked some of his ideas.
I think that's worthy of a show right there.
Please.
I think it is
Damn it!
because I've never heard.
absolutely worthy of.
I've never heard someone. I mean, a precinct chair use the word progressive in a derogatory term. Now, what I usually say. So I dislike when people tell me when they call me an activist because I think that people have bastardized the term,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And then I used to say, well, don't call me progressive because if that's progressive, then I'm not progressive. So like I usually go the other way, but here you are saying that you're
Don't
not
ever, ever.
because of the thing.
You
So,
call me a Democrat. You
we're-
call me a Democratic
we're-
activist,
Look,
but
we're-
never a
y'all can't see
progressive.
this, but there's a screen
Uh-oh.
with a red count up. It's counting up now. We're 2 minutes
Just
over.
gonna say it's many flavors of
y'all.
progressive. It's not just one.
There you go.
But Karthik
Thank
is
y'all.
a great.
Okay, enough. Thank
Karthik
y'all
is a
so
great
much. Thank
progressive.
y'all so much for being here with us tonight. Shout out to Charlene, Deja,
Yay.
Tico, everybody else. Just for those of y'all here, people don't usually watch the live. It's the clips.
Yep.
It's the clips, and I counted about 14 clips tonight.
Ooh.
It's like a disorder now. I listen in clips because of this meeting we do every Wednesday. I'm going to close out the way I do every Wednesday. This is advice for the people in the room and y'all at home. In the words of the great Jerry Springer,
Oh,
take care of
Lord.
yourselves and each other.
Bye,
Good
beautiful people.
Maldonado for District I.